got the famous Bas Rutten in here. Thank you so much for coming in, sir.
You're very welcome. Looking forward to it.
I cannot believe you're from Netherlands.
Yeah, crazy, right?
What's the Netherlands like?
It's, well, we have the clocks, right? Where everybody thinks we're walking around in wooden shoes. And then we have the windmills, the cheese, and we got the flowers, the tulips. And then we got Van Gogh, Vermeer, Rembrandt. We got all the big painters. And we had legal weed since I was a kid. It was always legal with us. And I think we're the first country who okayed gay marriage also. So yeah, it's a fun country to be at. You know, a lot of taxes though, but it's fun.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then, as you're growing up, you're 6 years old, right? Tell me the story. You were 6 and you had really bad asthma.
Yeah.
And now, what was like that going through school where you had to wear turtlenecks and long?
Yeah, because the asthma came together with the eczema, a skin disease. And it was a horrible skin disease. And it was weird because I used to live in the city. We moved to a village, and that's where it suddenly came out. When I came out of the womb, I was completely covered, but I went away right away. Never came back. Was very sick when I was 4, had rheumatic fever, spent like 4 months in the hospital. But that was the good part because there was either leukemia or was that. So that thankfully I had that because I met a friend there who passed away, little kid, was very sad.
Sorry to hear that.
And then, we moved and then suddenly my eczema came back. And as a kid, of course, I was the leper in school. That's what they called me. So, hey, leper, watch out, your ears don't fall off. Or if I would scratch my teeth or something, watch out for your teeth don't fall out. So, and that together with the asthma, which was also really bad. So I would have asthma constantly, inhalers, really bad inhalers, by the way. The inhalers that they had back in the day were capsules, like a capsule that you normally take. You have to put it in like a wheel, and then you put a cap over it, you click it, and then you puncture it, and then if you suck on it, it starts spinning and it goes into there. But the problem is if you have an asthma attack,
you don't have time.
You can't suck. There's no way. So it wouldn't work. It was the dumbest thing ever. So now it's like, it works. Not at the time. I took 45 pills a day. Had to wear gloves everywhere I went because if I would make a fist at times, sometimes it would burst and like pus would come out. It was disgusting.
How old were you?
Yeah, from 6. That was from 6 till 16, around that age, when I had it bad.
Yeah.
And then it starts clearing up. So, yeah, but that's, they put me on the track. That's why I'm sitting here with you talking right now, because it pushed me to learn how to fight, to go after the bullies. So.
And what was the big thing with Bruce Lee?
He changed everything for me. I was 12 years old. We were in a movie theater in France. We went on a vacation with the family. And my brother and I, we sneaked into the movie Enter the Dragon, which was 17 years and older, but we found a way to get in there for free, and so we could watch it. And that's when I saw Bruce Lee. I go, dude, if I'm like that guy, I'm going to take care of the bullies. So
nobody could fuck with me.
Nobody. And took me 2 years to convince my parents because I always thought it was violence, they thought. But then after 2 years, they finally broke. And they said, okay, do it, go. They got sick of me. And I was very fortunate to live next to two beautiful neighbor girls, and one of them was dating the cool guy in town. Xavier was his name. Xavier, we would say in Holland. We pronounce it different. And he took me under his wing to the adult classes. So I was the only kid, 14-year-old kid, in the adult classes. And within months, I started beating up some adults. And I overheard them talk about me in the dressing room. Man, did you see that kid? Man, he dropped Jack with a back kick. Oh, everybody laughing. Man, that kid has a lot of talent. He's really good. And so I started listening to that, and I started believing it. So that gave me a little confidence. And then I got in my fight, that still is the number one fight for me. Against Shaki was his name, from Holland. In my school, he was the biggest bully. And they were riding their bike. Hey, leper, they shouted something. And this time I shouted something back. And they started laughing. I looked back, and sure enough, they started to chase me. But I told myself, that's it. So I put my bike on a stand. And they surrounded me with their bikes. And then he started bumping his chest into my chest. And telling me that I should hit him. So I obliged. And that's when I found out he was actually a really weak person. It was one punch. All the taekwondo I did with the kicking, I hit him with a punch. But the problem was he broke his nose. He was knocked out. He was out cold. None of his friends jumped in. So they were all afraid of him. They would just be with him, join him if you can beat him, right? But the police showed up because he had to go to the hospital for his nose. So that's my mom and dad immediately took me off. But I always say this in my defense, they didn't know I was bullied. My mother had a lot of work with me. We had the whole family sending in old bed sheets. But they would rip 2 bandages and put creams on my arms and hands every night, and I would rip them off from the itching. And had this big stone next to my bed. I would hit the stone the whole time because the itching was so annoying. I'd rather have pain than that. So I never told them I was bullied. I think if they would have known, my dad would have said, no, he stays. But unfortunately, it wasn't. But now I had the taste, so now I started going after every kid that got bullied in school. Guess who took care of the bully, because now I knew I could do it. And I made a list, and I went after every single person. I mean, it was sad. So sometimes I think about a guy still sitting like, boss, please, I don't know. I go, well, I still remember, I'm sorry. So I knocked him out. I just, the violence you get from that, there's still things that people shouldn't say to me. This is 40 years later. You would think you can deal with that stuff. That's why when you see those school shootings, and listen, I condone it, and it's the worst thing ever, but I can understand it. I remember there was a moment I tried to be. I saw a Tarzan movie, I guess, and on the schoolyard there were trees as well, and these kids started messing with me. And I thought I was going to get the biggest guy, but there was a branch hanging, and I jumped in the branch and I went to stomp him like you see in the movies. And the branch broke, and I fell on my back.
You actually jumped off the branch?
Oh yeah, no, I was a tree climber. I was 3-4 hours a day in the forest because I had no friends. I was swinging treetops.
Just something to do.
Yeah, and it was good for the bullies because they couldn't do it. But anyway, I fell, and then everybody started laughing. And I remember I ran home, and we lived 200 yards away from the school. And I went to the kitchen, grabbed a kitchen knife, and I ran back. And my mom thankfully saw me running on the street through the window, and she went after me and she stopped me. And I don't know what I would have done, but I was livid. I might have stabbed one. I lost all control. So thankfully she saw it and she took the knife out of my hand. So that's why I always go with these kids. I can understand them, man. It's really bad. They push you to a certain limit. Yep. And now especially online, all the things that you read. Oh, dude, I'm relentless with that kind of stuff.
Imagine now. Imagine like all the social media now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. But the social media now, I would go after the bullies and I would film it and I would post it. I go, this is the guy who bullied me when I was, isn't this? Bonk. Yes. All the views, monetize it. I don't think the police will like it.
You make it a pay-per-view.
Dude. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they should do anyway with really bad people, I always said,
Yeah.
Just beat the crap out of them and put it on TV, and the money goes to the families who get hurt. That's what they should do, because then it stops. All these extra privilege that you give to criminals, to pedophiles, to this and that, stop. Just put them in a regular prison. Suddenly that disease will be cured for 90%. Why? Because they kill them. That's what they do. And then stop. My friend's from Iran. And he said, oh, we almost never have that. I said, what? Pedophiles? He says, I know there will be there, but nobody's doing it. I said, why not? So we kill them.
You get rid of them.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And it works, right? So I'm sorry, but if you try to cover things up, you're doing something wrong. And if you know doing something wrong, you should pay for that. That's my...
Because why else would you cover it up, right?
Exactly. But he doesn't know. No, but why does he cover up then if he doesn't know it, right?
He's full of shit.
100%. So, no, I can't stand that.
So how'd you come up with O2Trainer? I think that is the coolest thing.
Yeah, right. It's see, again, I'm sitting here because of my fighting, but the O2Trainer came up because of my asthma.
Right, that's why I just thought about
Segued in there. Look at you.
Yeah. You like that one, right?
Yeah, I love that. Because, it's...
Pull up tab one, please.
Yep. I was doing track and field at a pretty high level already when I was young. I was always a very good athlete. I was nobody wanted to be friends with me, but in school at PE, I was the first one they choose because I beat everybody with everything in sports. I was just good at sports. But needless to say, the 400 meters, 800 meters, and 1500 meters I was doing decathlon was the worst for me because of my asthma. But
what was your favorite sport? Aside from fighting, what was your favorite
track
sport?
And field.
Track and field?
Yeah. Discus, shot put, high jump, long jump. I was really good at everything.
Very athletic.
Yeah, I was very athletic. I wanted to become the next Bruce Jenner, the Dutch Bruce Jenner, believe it or not. Yeah, because he was my idol. 1976 gold Olympic
You can't
medal.
take away. He was a beast.
Unbelievable.
Whatever the fuck.
Yep.
Whatever's going on now, hey, whatever.
Yep. His choice.
He was a monster.
Yep, he was. And but I would realize that after an asthma attack, like my attacks were a week in bed. You have to understand, not able to eat. People go like, oh, my asthma is acting up. I go 24/7 for a week. laying in bed like that, go to the restroom. And I had a flight of stairs going down. That's a 45-minute freaking experience to go down. And then going up the stairs, that's taking 2 steps, sitting down. 2 steps, sitting down. Resting, because you couldn't. But then after an attack, I would always have I break my running times. And it would drive me insane. Why was that? Maybe the medication I was taking. I couldn't figure it out until I went to the doctor and I saw a drawing of a pair of lungs on the wall. And it showed the lung infection is not in your lungs. It shows it's in the airways that go to the lungs. And there was one infected airway, and they showed an infected one. They showed a healthy one next to it, and that was the idea. That's why I said, I've been working out my lungs, pulling air in through an infected area with resistance. That's why it made them stronger. And then when the infection is gone, now they're stronger. I can breathe better.
You actually subconsciously kind of like corrected it in a way.
That's what I did. Yeah. Weird, right? How that goes. But you see, it's also the body doing it already for us. If you think about it.
It adapts.
And then I started working with washers, bolts and nut washers with a little hole in it. I put them in front of my teeth and I tried to breathe through that. But just needs to say it's very dangerous because
I can see why you would do that though, right? To try to get more right into the passageway.
No. To breathe air in with resistance that I could control. So it would be harder to breathe into that little tiny hole.
I see.
So I actually, on my keychain, I got dropped off here with the flight because otherwise I could show you my keychain. I have a little washer still because that was the idea for the O2Trainer. But needless to say, super dangerous because if I open my mouth, the thing shoots into your lungs. If it's in your lungs, you can Heimlich it out. You're dead. That's it. I always tell this horrible story because in class, a lot of guys, they have a chewing gum. You can literally die from that, right? There's people, you go online and you can die from that because and especially in fighting, if you get hit and you breathe in and it shoots in your lungs. And the story I tell with this is a horrible story. It's a 9-year-old girl who got a tooth pulled and the guy dropped it and shot in the lungs. She died on the table.
Oh, wow.
But I always tell my students that story. I said, that's what I mean with, I'm not angry at you, but if you die, and I saw you chewing gum, and I didn't say anything. It's kind of my fault, being the teacher.
It's on your conscience.
That's it. Right? Stop doing that. So, anyway, I started experimenting with that, but then it was very dangerous. I didn't know how to make it, but it was always on my head, in my head. And every party we would go to, people would talk about ideas, inventions, and I would always say, "Oh man, you need a thing that can control the air intake," because, and everybody would tell me, "You got to make that thing. You got to make that thing." And then Vanderlei Silva, he was teaching on The Ultimate Fighter with another fighter, and he let his fighters train with a snorkel device. And it was not the same what I have, but what he's doing is rebreathing carbon dioxide, and if you do that, it might spark the red blood cell count. So I understand what he was doing. My telephone went crazy. He goes, "Dude," I go, "What?" He said, the episode was on. He said, "Somebody's going to come up with a bus. You got to make it now." That was like 2010, 2011.
Did the red blood cell, did it go up?
Yeah, that will go up if you...
And the white went down? Or
no, white stays the same, yeah.
Level.
White is for cutting wounds and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just didn't know, like, the way you guys were doing it.
Yeah. So then I started making it, made a prototype, and I started training with the prototype, and 3 weeks later, I didn't need my inhaler anymore. And I was carrying my inhaler everywhere I went. I mean, every single fight, everywhere I go, I would always have an inhaler in my pocket because if I would sneeze violently, my lungs would close. A lot of asthma patients has the same. You have to open them up. So I called my buddy in Holland and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to send you something," because I knew he had asthma. 8 days later, he calls me, "Dude, my asthma's gone." So he sells them now in Europe for me because he's a freaking believer. And I go, "Okay, we're onto something." But it took a long time. And then I got introduced by Joey Diaz, the comedian.
Yeah, he's in Jersey now, right?
He's in Jersey, yeah. He set me up with Dr. Belisa Vranic. And
this episode is brought to you by Fiji. More than just water.
This is not just rock. It's ancient volcanic rock that filters tropical rain, giving it double the electrolytes and its signature soft, smooth taste. It's not just water. It's Fiji water.
Again, that's FijiWater.com/MSCS, $5 off and free shipping. This episode is sponsored by Let's Get Checked. Are you the man your father was? Recent studies have shown that men's testosterone levels are dropping substantially since the 1980s at about an average of 1% per year. Low testosterone can have all types of health effects. It can affect your muscle mass, memory, mood, sex drive, you name it. And yes, low testosterone is more common the older you get, but can affect men at any age. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. They're a worldwide leader in at-home testing kits, and their male hormone test lets you easily test your testosterone levels at home. You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in a discreet packaging with next-day delivery. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available to you in your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. These results are reviewed by a clinician, and a member of Let's Get Checked nursing team may call you to review your results. Let's Get Checked laboratories are CLIA approved and CAP accredited, which is the highest ranking levels of accreditation. So, if you want to test your hormone levels without having to leave your home, visit trylgc.com/MSCS. Special offer for MSCS media viewers. Use promo code MSCS at checkout and get 30% off your test. The link is in the description below at the top.
And she made a big impact in my life with all my breeding knowledge. Everybody goes, how do you know so much about that's her? You know, she's really good, really smart lady. Knows a lot about breeding. I had pulmonologists telling me now, dude, you know more than any doctor out there with lungs. This is insane. How do you know? I said, that's Dr. Belisa. Anyway, the first thing that she did when I came there was measuring my chest expansion. I will go into that a little bit later. I knew what she was doing. So she says, okay, exhale and inhale. And she measures and she started laughing. She goes, no. She says, that's not possible. Do it again. And I do it again and she goes, wait. And she walks out and she comes back with another doctor. And I go, okay, what's going on? She says, well, if I don't bring him, she's not going to believe it. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, normally when somebody breaks the record, like chest expansion in inches, it's broke by like an eighth of an inch, a quarter of an inch, and you just almost went 2 inches over. And then they found out that it was the O2Trainer. So now she put it in a book.
If two doctors don't see it, nobody's going to believe me.
That's
right?
it. She said, because then the guy, you should have called me. Because it was that much difference.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's what when I told you, a breathing IQ, and everybody can do this. You can go to the breathingiq.com and you can measure your breathing. And it will give you a number. If you have 100%, is good. I had 182. So she was like, whoa, what's going on here? So that was the craziest thing. Yeah. And you know, I'll tell you a few things. This takes 2 minutes, but then people really know what it does for you. So first of all, nothing in your body that you have control over is more important than breathing. It starts with that. Because you have the survival rule of 3. An average human being can go 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 minutes without oxygen. We all look what we eat and drink, but nobody pays attention to the number one priority, right? That's number one. Fact number 2 is that your lungs don't do anything. They're just 2 bags. There's not a muscle in your lung. The way your lungs work is by chest expansion. The more you can expand your chest, because there's a vacuum between the body and the lungs. And if you expand your chest, that opens up, that sucks open the lungs. That's how you breathe, by your breathing muscles. Now, the biggest muscle for inhaling is the diaphragm. And there's the external intercostal muscles, which are the muscles in between your ribs. Those are for exhaling. Inhaling. Inhaling is your obliques, your core, and your internal intercostal muscles. So the more you can expand your chest, the more power you can get in there. And know that you have 11 pounds. Every human being has 11 pounds of breathing muscles. Fact number 3. This is all this backed up by science. You can go and publish medical journals. You can check everything out.
I read medical journals
100%
all the time.
Metaborflex.
I love hearing this. I love hearing it.
What is metaborflex?
That I don't know.
You see? But me neither. I didn't know. We know it as gassing. When you gas. You know what happens when you're gassing? Let's say you're running a hill and suddenly you start gassing. That is, your body starts to regulate all the blood. It stops the blood going to your legs, your oxygenated blood, and it sends it to your number one priority in the body, which is your breathing muscles. That's why you're gassing. So why not update those 11 pounds of breathing muscles, you would think, right? Then fact number 4, stamina. How is it that if you train really hard, your stamina increases? People come, just train hard. No, what is the reason? I always want to know what the reason is.
Your body adapts, right?
Your body adapts. Your muscle, you train the muscle over and over again, it becomes more efficient. And once it becomes more efficient, well, the word already says it, it uses less oxygen. It's more efficient. So your stamina increases. Now then, for number 5, this is the biggest one, because everybody, when you tell somebody, and I was the one included, 95% of the people are breathing wrong.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah. If I say to you, take a deep breath.
I know I'm breathing wrong.
That's just 100% wrong. You can get up to 5 times more. Raising your chest is the worst thing you can do. And I will go into a little bit later why that is, but raising your chest is the worst thing you can do. Know that 4 to 6 of these breaths is the same as 1 belly breath. So let's take the lowest number. Let's take 4. and you're a fighter. You come out of the fight, you go back to your corner, you're very tired. Instead of inhaling 40 times, you can get the same amount of air in by doing it 10 times correctly. It's the most craziest thing. It's the most craziest thing that people don't even know this. And I go a little bit, I'm going to talk about why that is. Now, the last one is lung volume. You have always these people who are talking about that their product can increase your lung volume, right? It can't. You have a set pair of lungs. Once you pass the age of 18, whatever it is, those lungs...
Your lungs are your lungs.
That's it. Which on average for guys is like 6.4 liters, which is like a gallon and a half. And for women, it's like 4.2 liters, which is like a gallon. Right? That's the difference. Now, if you, after the age of 29, your thoracic flexibility, so your chest flexibility starts going less. And because of that, your lungs start to shrink. You lose literally like 100 milliliters of lung every year. So over 10 years, that's 1 liter. I mean, think about it. We have 6 liters, and in 10 years, 1 liter goes. That's a lot. Unless, of course, you start doing breathing exercises. So, for instance, if you're 40 years old, you never did any breathing exercises, yes, you can increase your lung volume, but only to what they were before. Because now they're shrunk, but you can make them big again, but then it goes back to the size that you originally had from below.
And if I'm following you correctly, if you don't breathe right, and you only, you get 6 shots, basically. You get 6 shots and you're done. But if you're breathing right, maybe you get 10 shots and you live longer too.
You live long. Everything increases. It's the most bizarre thing for me. When I'm so excited about this and people don't understand. Let's for meditation. Know that this, and you have in Aramaic and in Latin and in Greek, the word breath is the same as spirit. And it is because it all has a connection. These people who want to meditate on this, breathing. It's all breathing. If you see a high level what I would say, special forces. You think they snipers? You think they chest breathe?
Hell no.
A lot of movement. No, here.
Boom.
It's no movement.
Right,
it's all body. And the O2Trainer, what it does, it controls the air intake, and it will force you to use your breathing muscles, because pulling air in through a little tiny hole. This is an O2Trainer. There's a little tiny hole in there. Doing it with chest expansions is not going to work. You need more power, so automatically your body starts focusing on your breathing muscles. And this is a fun reason. You know why we stop breathing correctly? Because we all breathe correctly when we come out of the womb. If you look at a baby, you see only the belly move. And that stops at the age of 5.5. Again, go online, find the test. It's all proven. This is all proven what I'm saying. So what happens is, around the age of 5.5, this is where we go to school. And now some of these kids wear a belt. It starts with that. And now these kids go to the doctor. And the doctor put a stethoscope on the chest. And they say, okay, take a deep breath. Oh, this is where my lungs are. That's what they think. They do everything wrong. Then they start looking at superheroes. And the superheroes...
As everything's developing, they're saying take deep breaths, put the belt on, squeeze against everything, right?
But also because they don't want to look fat. Because all these kids believe, because now they grow up, they become self-conscious, and they see girls, and the girls also, same thing. If I breathe through my belly, they might think I'm fat. You see, and all these factors together will take that perfect breath away. We are actually the only animal on the planet that has lungs that breathe incorrectly. All the other ones, they breathe correct.
Fucking right.
It's the most insane thing
really.
it is. I mean, COVID. I had no COVID, no this. I've been traveling through COVID to Europe, back for everywhere, people, nothing, and
an ant breathes better than a cockroach. A cockroach breathes better.
Tony Montana, a cockroach, man.
You can't kill those fuckers, so they must be able to breathe right.
But you see, I mean, it's insanity what breathing can do for you.
Yeah.
And I always say this, if you look at, if you have 2 teams that are skilled equally, the team with the most stamina is going to win the fight, whatever they're doing, because they can keep pushing. Same with fighters, equally skilled. This is the biggest one. If I say this and then you don't pay attention to this, you're the dumbest person on the planet. Imagine you have 2 brothers, 2 clones. They're identical. Fingerprints are the same. DNA, everything's identically the same. And they decide to start a competition between the 2 of them. Let's do a triathlon. So they have a coach come in, and the coach sits in front of them. They get the same information from the running coach. They get the same information from the cycling coach, same information from the swimming coach. Everything is the same. They eat the same, drink the same, sleep the same. They do everything the same. Only one guy trains his breathing muscles, 11 parts of breathing muscles. Who do you think is going to win? And there you have your answer. And then you look at the UFC, you see Tony Ferguson. Everybody is like, all the fight. I talk to the fighters. They go like, man, I wish I had his stamina. Everybody's talking. You can have it. It's just doing it. You know, look at Tony Ferguson when he goes to the corner after a hard round. There's no movement whatsoever.
You know,
Yeah.
And raising your chest, you know what happens also? Raising your chest, first of all, you get like 5 times less oxygen in, but also those muscles to carry your chest up, your neck, your traps, your shoulders, all those muscles need oxygen. Once you start breathing diaphragmatically, all the coaches, coach of the year, you suck. You don't even pay attention to breathing. It's insanity to me. Jack Daniels, not the drink, of course, the most famous endurance coach on the planet. First thing he does, you read his book. An athlete comes in, take your shirt off, breathe. That's the first thing he does, because if the breathing is not good, he's going to correct that first before we start training. So with all that said, I go like, you're insane if you don't think about it. And we all want things too fast. And the problem with this thing is, what fighters have, we want things today, right? We want to work out today. That's why you see guys using steroids, all that. They want more. The problem is this. If I just worked out my biceps, for instance, and then an hour later somebody asks me to carry some things and I have to use my biceps, well, they're a little weaker because I just really put them to work, right? So what they do, they use the O2Trainer, and after that they go train. And then they feel, shit, man, it looks like I'm getting tired. Yes, because your breathing muscles are not updated yet. Well, why don't you stick with it for a month? It takes 4 minutes a day. 4 minutes a day before you work out, which you do every day. So what I do, 5 o'clock I wake up. At 6 o'clock I'm in the gym. First thing I do is breathing exercise. I actually post them every single day. I post them to inspire people on a special Facebook page, Bas Rutten's O2 Bootcamp, to do it as well. It's the first thing I do. And once those muscles are updated, now, before I do a hard conditioning workout, I do 30 repetitions first. Because now also preliminary studies have been saying that your second wind is your diaphragm being warmed up. If I do this thing for 30 repetitions, I don't have a dip. I can just spare right away.
That was in the American Journal, that when your diaphragm warms up.
There you go.
Yeah.
The best one I have, and I have the video here, and I asked Lyoto Machida of the video, the voice message, Lyoto Machida. I work with him at Karate Combat. There's a full contact karate league that we do. By the way, 27th here, and if you want to come in Orlando, I get you tickets if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that's you got to watch karate.com. Go there. It's Olympic level karate guys fighting full contact in the pit, dude. It's insane. Yeah. You really want to see it. It's a really good thing. But I gave Lyoto Machida one. Lyoto Machida is different than all the fighters. I give maybe 150 away. Maybe 5 used it. Because apparently if you give something, they don't respect it, or they use it 2 days and it doesn't work and they stop. He did it for 4 months straight. He gets COVID. And after COVID, he said 2 days later, he left me a message. 2 days later, he said, I started training with his students who fight in the UFC and Bellator. They fight in all organizations, professional fighters. He says, I was outworking everybody. He says, I did not get tired, Bas. My muscles got tired, but my breathing was completely under control. He was freaking out. I said, dude, that's exactly the same what happened to me. That's why I'm screaming it from the rooftops. I go, wake up. Yeah. Focus on that.
You're right, because that's the base. The breathing is the base.
Everything. You want longer workouts?
Yeah.
Train your freaking breathing muscles. You can sustain longer workouts.
Everything. That's the base.
I brought one for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and a very nice blue one.
Thank you very much.
Look at this.
Thank you. Definitely, man.
But you see, the idea is super simple. It's a super simple idea. I breathe in. This side has a flap. It closes.
Take us through the site so everybody can see.
Yeah. So the side.
Just tell Rob what to do. Scroll down and do whatever.
Yeah. No. So on the left side, there's a flap. You can't see it from here, but you can breathe out. You can exhale completely. This is important. You can breathe out with the resistance, because then you can fill up your entire respiratory system. And then all these caps come with it. You have 1 millimeter, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and from that moment on, it goes to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the very low settings, I always had added a 0.5 millimeter, because the jump between 1 millimeter and 2 is a big jump.
So do you start with the bigger I'm taking? Right?
Yeah,
but way down.
That's why in the beginning I started working out with it. With the caps, and so I started with a large cap. But now then I got in contact with the guy who trained Usain Bolt, and he says, no, you got to do breathing exercises for this. Yeah.
Wow.
He sleeps in a high elevation tent, and when he wakes up, first thing he does is training his breathing muscles. Wow. And that's for 9 seconds running. So you can only imagine what it does, the power he can get.
Wow.
You know, so my asthma got away by training with it, like boxing with it, but he says do the breathing exercise. Once I start doing the breathing exercises, that's when everything went completely nuts. Then Dr. Belisa Vranic, she also showed me my back breathing muscle. What people don't realize is you not only breathe here, you're 360 degrees circumferential around your body. Now, my back breathing muscles, I never worked out. And you literally lean forward and you start breathing in and you focus on your back to expand. It's crazy. Now, I made the mistake doing 30 repetitions, that's what we say. don't do that with the breathing exercise because you're going to walk around 4 days. It's like I have bodybuilders buying them for their abs now. That's how how thick your core gets from it. But once I started adding the back breathing, then I went to a whole different level. Now I train with guys in my gym. I train maybe once every 3 weeks. I outlast these guys. And they go, how is this possible? I go, do the freaking O2Trainer. I say, I'm giving it to you. Why don't you use it?
So are you real quick? Before you're doing your workout, right? Going to the gym in the morning, workout. Before you're even doing any of that, you're taking that
first thing.
And how long are you doing that for?
30 repetitions. I do 5 minutes. But 30 repetitions should take you between 3 and 4.5 minutes.
And that's opening up everything and getting you breathing properly. And this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. This is something you have to do.
30 days. Do it 30 days, you're not going to stop anymore. Asthma patients, you do it for 30 days. If you have exercise-induced asthma, I'll give you completely be cured. Not, I give you your money back. If you have allergies, asthma, 70% or more is going to be gone within a month. Otherwise, I give you your money back. Not one have taken my money back. But the thing I have to see, though, is 30 repetitions of you. Because I'm not going to believe that you do it. Because people live in a sissy society. Because, it takes so much and my muscles start hurting and they stop. Oh, I did it 30 repetitions. You didn't do it. Because if you do it, it works. I know it works.
You know where I can see that really working like crazy, and I could be wrong? Like deep diving, like swimmers?
Oh, 100%.
Or like long swimmers?
Yeah. Everything. I'm now thinking about Hamas. Lamaze class for women breathing.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. And they say, does it get you longer breath hold? Breath holds is a completely different animal. But think about this. Your chest expansion, mine is 182, right? So I can pull more air in. Well, more air is staying long underwater, right? And that together, if you combine with your breathing training that you do. And also this is another fun thing. You have Belisa Vranic breathing technique. You got Wim Hof. You got Stanislav Grof. You got the Buteyko technique. I mean, there's so many different ones. And they say, oh, already you do it. No, you're doing it. But this will make your breathing technique even better because now you strengthen them. Like you cannot breathe without resistance and think that it's going to give you, it will give you endurance but not strength. It's like doing a bicep curl with no weights. Yeah, you can get a pump, but you're going to have to do it 150, 200 times, right? You see? So you add a weight. This is weight training for your breathing muscles. That's exactly what it is.
Rob, scroll up to the top. Yeah. It says My Story. It's you can download it. There's a free download, and we'll have this in the description. So you can download that. That's really cool. Yeah.
No, it's and then people know where it came from. And it's listen, you won't find one. I sell the body action system. It's a punching, kicking device, right? In the beginning, people say, oh, we're going to break it. Dude, I broke 2 times the head. Over 11 years, I kicked the head. So if I don't break it, you're not going to break it. Trust me. And then people finally start seeing it. And now we sell a lot because, shit, it doesn't break. It really works. Every product that I bought on the market, give me one. Any person I challenge. Find one product that I do. I lost a lot of money because there were people with mouthpieces which were open in the middle. $60,000 if I would promote it. I said no because it's not a good mouthpiece. And sure enough, I was right. 2 years later, they got sued. Because the mouth is open. You want to lock the jaw because otherwise it's going to shift and you're going to break your jaw. You see, I could have made an easy $60,000, but I decided not to because if I do it, then they're not going to believe my next product, what I'm going to bring on the market. And that's why
it's 100%. Now you have shit. Now you have shit on your portfolio.
That's it. And then nobody's going to believe you anymore. It's like in court. You lie once, that's it.
That's it. You're done for. And they're after you forever.
That's it. It's really it. So
it's just crazy that no one focuses, and I didn't think about it until we're talking about this. You don't really focus on breathing.
I never thought about it either.
And then
because you think you do it correctly because you've been doing it your entire life.
Correct. And I think about my kids play football, right? And my one son, he's an offensive lineman, but undersized, right? And he's going against these big behemoths, right? Yeah. But the problem with them is they're strong. You don't want to get in one-on-one with them.
Yeah.
But they get tired quickly, and they're not breathing correctly. So this would be something that he would take to perform him to another level. But he's more physically in shape than these guys. He may get bull rushed a few times.
Only in the beginning.
But after that, his stamina is keeping up, and these guys are gassed.
Was my biggest thing. I fought in Japan. There was no weight classes in Japan, right? Which I found out on the day of the fight. It was fun, right? And so this tall guy walks up to me.
There was no weight classes?
No, there was no weight.
You got to tell me this whole story. You got to tell me this story.
So I go to Japan, right? And I'm thinking, why is there no weigh-in? I thought it was weird. And then I thought, did I think about did I have to be a certain weight? I thought there was like 83 kilos. I had no clue anymore what was going on. Okay, well, the Japanese are very honest. So I'm sure that because I'm fighting a Japanese guy, he will be in my weight. So I go to the fight the next day, and this tall guy walks up to me, like 6'4".
Oh my God.
And he gives me a hand, and I say, hey, how are you doing? She's the promoter. And he goes, no, I'm fighting you tonight. I go, you're fighting me tonight? I said, what's your weight? And he was like 32 pounds heavier than me, right? And I go, is that not too heavy? And then the promoter walked up. And the promoter, I said, you're the promoter, yeah. Is he not too heavy? And he goes, no, Mr. Rutten, we have no weight classes. Everybody fights everybody. I tried to smile. I go, yeah, I love it. And then I said, oh, before you walk away, how many rounds are we fighting? I thought we fight 5 rounds in 1 minute or 3 minutes. He goes, 30. Round to 30 minutes.
You start breathing like mother.
Yeah.
You start breathing.
I wish I had that thing at the
You
time,
did.
dude. Oh, dude. But the good thing when I was going to come back with you from is that, we have more stamina, the little guy. So you fight a big guy, and in the beginning it might look bad, but then once you start you're going to look really good beating up a big guy.
Well, you know what they always say? The bigger they are, the quicker they drop.
That's it. My last opponent was 265.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
Yeah, and I was 211. You see, that's a big difference in that. But I knew I will outlast you. I will, maybe I have a problem in the beginning. Thankfully, I didn't, but I might. But then I'm going to take over. As long as I keep hanging in there, you're going to tire. I'm not going to go tire. And if you see me breathing in my fights, I have literally a clip on my website where you see me. It's a world title fight in the corner like this. That, if I come out of a super hard right now, it's literally like this. And every time it's like, what the heck? It blows me away every single time when I train now. That's how powerful this freaking thing is. I hope more people start seeing it. I hope people start Googling and look at the guy like Jack Daniels, that really high-level endurance coaches, and then realize, oh, crap, yeah, we have to do it. And then go to a published medical website and push in inspiratory muscle training, because that's what this is, an inspiratory muscle training. And then you won't find, on my website, there's maybe 15.
Go up to the top.
Yeah, go to Science.
Yeah, science is good.
And these are all published medical journals. You click on that, you go to the published medical web, and look what it does. High intensity performance. Then you got COPD, asthma, cystic fibrosis, high altitude, endurance, ankle problems. Your balance works. I mean, there's things that I didn't even know. This is like the gift that keeps on giving. It's the craziest thing.
And you know that the doctors hate that, right?
Oh.
They hate it
Yeah.
because they can't give you pills.
I love it that you say that, because I went to a doctor who treats kids with eczema and asthma, and I wrote him a letter, and I said, I have this, it will stop. And I'll send you for free.
Yeah, don't even say, yeah.
And I never got a phone call. And my buddy said the same thing that you said. He says they don't want them cured, Bas.
No.
Because they can't write prescriptions anymore.
Because they want to give that one pill that then you get a side effect, another pill,
Yep.
and then you build an endurance to that pill, and then another pill, another pill, another pill. It's sick.
Drives me insane. I thought you had to sign something like a cop, right? You have to protect the serf. Well, protect the serf. That's your job. And that's the same with doctors. Help people. And that's not what they're doing.
No.
It's insanity.
They're not. Oh, explain this here.
Oh, that's my very first one that I did. There was Dr. Frank Wyatt. That was at the university. He started dealing with it. And he realized that because you're rebreathing a little bit of carbon dioxide, it did spark the red blood cell count, but not a really big number. So the focus for this is really training your breathing muscles. And like I said, it will force your breathing muscles to work so you breathe correctly, and that can give you up to 5 times more oxygen. I was on a Joe Rogan show a long time ago, and we used that ad. And I said to him, and he says, so you can improve your endurance 20%? You said, how long? I say 6 weeks. And he goes, Bas, that's insane. I go, okay. So now I come back to that. I go like, okay, maybe I was a little off. It's only for 95% of the people. And it's not 20%, it's more than 20%. That's how it is. And the 5% who breathe correctly, I guarantee you have breathing classes. They know how to breathe. They pay attention to that. So you're an idiot if you don't. I truly believe so. It works with everything. And by the way, for your listeners, if you want to order, if you do it on O2Trainer.com and you put at the checkout code HEALTH15, you get 15% discount.
Go to, what's the website?
O2Trainer.com.
Oh,
And don't worry, that's that. And I also added 02 trainer because I know people they do 02.
Yeah.
So both of them, but health 15 and you get a 15% discount.
And we'll have that in the description and everything else too.
Promise
I
you're
wanna
gonna
push that
love
with
it.
you. Yeah, I think it's great.
Yep.
Instead of all this medicine, all this bullshit, just like Rob was saying, his son could use it with football, women could use it with gymnastics.
But the thing that walking around with no inhaler. Ask any asthma patient, because if you
can't believe I never thought of that.
Dude, I don't use it. I was walking. I have allergy-induced asthma also, and I started wheezing. I'm walking a big hill, and I go, "Oh crap! I don't have an inhaler anymore." But still, it triggers the pollen triggered it with me. But I got just got to keep on going. Yes, I'm wheezing, but I was so strong my breathing. I just breathed straight through it. I had zero effect. I just kept walking. I go, wow, this is so insane. So it won't take your allergy away. That's what you need medication for. But it will make your breathing muscles so strong that you pull the air straight in.
And you came up with all that?
How crazy. Well, not all of it. I thought it was good for my endurance and the asthma was gone. And then suddenly when COPD, cystic fibrosis, and all these other people start messaging me. And that was Dr. Belisa Vranic. She was really the one. So I had a pulmonologist now. He won 6 awards at the AARP, and he buys them. I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Well, I want people to see it. I want people to understand. It's very important to breathe correctly. But we all believe, we're so full of ourselves, right? Including me, don't get me wrong. We all think that we already do it correctly.
So when you first start, right, you have the kit right there, right? You're using probably a bigger
probably setting 4, 5, or 6.
And how long are you doing it again? Say it's my first time. This is my first day. I'm just doing it. How long am I doing it for?
Good. Okay, so you have to time yourself. You have to figure out the setting. That's the only thing that's going to cost you a little bit of time, maybe 2 times. And then you know that you're setting. So let's say you put a setting 5 on it and you do a breathing exercise. I'm going to do a breathing exercise now. This is the front breathing muscles you attack here, right? So you got also the side breathing and you got the back breathing. We focus on the front and back breathing, but this is the front breathing first. You exhale with the O2Trainer in your mouth. That's why you don't want to have resistance breathing out, because then you cannot completely empty yourself. So that means that you cannot fill up your entire respiratory system again. So you have to complete exhale. And then you lean over. First you bend that diaphragm level. That presses a lot of air out. Then more, while I'm leaning over, O2Trainer, then I start inhaling with power. Come up straight. And then I try to time it in such a way that once I sit up straight is the end of my inhale. I do one time. I go. That's it. Breathe out, same thing, let her rinse, repeat, do 30 times. Now, your time should be between 3 and 4.5 minutes. If it's lower than 3 minutes, you need more resistance. If it's more than 4.5 minutes, you need less resistance. And then you keep the cap in there the whole time. Now, in the beginning, you're going to go from cap number 6 to 5 in a week and 10 days. You go like, whoa, it's already going. And then you go to cap 4 really fast as well. Once you start getting very strong, like I do now cap 1.5, and you do it correctly. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people say, oh, I can cap do 1. I did cap 1 as well.
Let me see you do it the right way, right?
That's it. Because I did 2 minutes and 15 seconds with the hardest setting, and I thought I was so cool. And then Dr. Belisa said, you're not doing it correctly. And once I start completely exhaling, it took me over 6.5 minutes. So I go, okay, let's go down in resistance again. Now, that's the front breathing. And literally, like I said, you have bodybuilders buying it now for their abs because your core gets really freaking thick. The back breathing is a very simple one. You breathe out, and this is weird. I squeeze my shoulder blades together because they can press more air out. And then you lean on your legs and you just relax your whole body. And then you start inhaling while you focus on your back muscles at the lower bottom of your rib cage to expand. I'll explain a little bit how the diaphragm works in a little bit because then you get it. So you do this. And if you focus on your back muscles, you'll be amazed what your body does. You will feel it. But if
interesting.
you do this 15 times, don't do it 30 times, the back breathing. Because these are muscles you never used before. You're going to be in a lot of pain for next.
No more lat pull downs, right?
No, it really feels like you worked out your back, really freaking out. So do 15 the next time. I alternate. So one day I do front breathing, and then the next day when I do my back breathing muscles, my front can rest. And I take those.
See, this is interesting to me because I coach youth sports and seeing kids. I'm probably teaching them the wrong way too. They're doing their sprints, right? We're sprinting, and the first thing the kids do when they're tired is they lean over, right? And they're down here sucking air, right? So I used to always tell them, put your hands above your head.
Yeah, but now they carry the whole weight. Yeah, and the problem with this because they're breathing wrong. And when they breathe wrong, now they have to carry the whole weight up. Like this is why, for instance, bigger people who have a little belly, they breathe better diaphragmatically than lengthy, skinny people, because all the weight is here, and for them to raise the shoulders is going to cost a lot. So they're probably always better breathers, actually, diaphragmatic breathers, than the really skinny guys, because they chest breathe. They all chest breathe. So you have to really force them, and this is a really simple thing. This is a 100% true story. Pastor Chad, I was doing an interview in a church over in Chicago, and I was talking about this thing. And then he said, one of my best friends, he's in the hospital with COVID. And the family is already saying their goodbyes because he's not going to make it, they think. He had like 85 on his oximeter reader, the blood, the oxygen level.
Yeah, the thing you put your hand in with the red dot.
Yeah,
85.
it was really bad. And he goes, can he use that thing? I said, no, because it's going to strain him and he needs to rest right now. But let him breathe diaphragmatically. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, let him, he lays on his back anyway, put a book on your solar plexus, and now try to raise the book with your belly the whole time. That's how you breathe. They called me the next day. He had 96 in 1 day correct breathing. So you can only imagine what you do with this if you do this your entire life. And then strengthen your breathing muscles. See what happens then. You see, so it's a big difference. And the other products, there's a lot of other products out there. And one of them, I'm not going to mention the name because he would do that to me. I'm not going to do it back. Yeah, but it was one of those guys who said they have breathing in with resistance and breathing out simultaneously, right? They have all these things on the face and they're running and they say it's so good. And then they had commercials with fighters, they would say. And the fighters, they would do this against the other product. And they would go, this thing doesn't even have resistance breathing out. They say that. And I go like...
Would that guy have an infomercial?
Yeah, no, they would like YouTube, but YouTube videos. What they didn't know is, and what he found out is that I have the patent for this. And now suddenly he wants to do business with me. I go, yeah, that ship has sailed, dude. That's not going to happen anymore. Because it's very simple. And don't get me wrong, breathing out with resistance is really good as well. But you have to separate it. If you do it simultaneously, you can never completely exhale because it's with resistance. And if you do it the other way around, you can never inhale with resistance. So you're breathing kind of in the middle. But if you first do this, and then you stop, and then you do an exhale with resistance, that's actually really good for you, if you think about it, because you want to get all that bad air out of your lungs, right? If you have two buckets, one with good water and one with fresh water, and I throw only 70% of bad water out of the bucket, I can only fill it up 70%. But if I throw everything out, I can fill it completely up. That's the same with your lungs. If you train your obliques, your internal intercostal muscles to squeeze everything out, that's really good for you. So you have to train both ways. But the inhale muscle is the most important muscle, I would say.
So I totally understand all that. But now when you're fighting, how do you guys take them hits in the head?
Again,
I always wanted to ask, like a professional, a guy like you, not, how do you take those fucking hits?
It's, I always proud of myself. I've never been down. I never had an 8 count. I just slipped punches. I go, why would I let myself get hit? Are you afraid? I said, no, I'm not afraid. But why would I, if I can avoid it?
Because, Bas, when you started, they weren't wearing gloves, right? They were going bare.
No, yeah, with me, but it was a palm strikes to the head. But the UFC with the little tiny glove. But you have to understand also, gloves make everything way worse, the impact.
Because
right?
it slides.
No, the glove is invented to not break your hand. The glove is not invented for your head. People believe that, but it's not. That's why bare knuckle boxing, CTE-wise, brain trauma-wise, is better than MMA or boxing.
Wow.
Crazy, right? Because you cannot hit. Like, I was fighting palm strikes when I was a bouncer because I saw everybody break their... If you fight 3 guys, you're not going to aim for the jaw. You just hit, And if you hit the skull, you break your hand. Yeah. So, and if you glove, like a Mike Tyson, every street fight he was in, he broke his hand. But now you put him and they wrap his hand, and now you get like Mike Tyson hit, the hardest hitter on the freaking planet, will kill you. They say to me, oh, you won't fight him for $6 million? No. I'll fight him. I do MMA. I'll take his ass down. Try. Yeah. Dude, that's a specimen. You don't want to get hit by him.
He is 56.
Unbelievable.
I was telling you before we got on.
Yeah.
56, however old he is. He sparred, I've said this 100 times, but I'm amazed by the guy.
Yeah.
8 rounds. 8 rounds. And they're not just...
Yeah.
And then he went over to the bag. When you hit the bag?
Yeah.
85 pounds. 85 pounds with the glove on.
Oh, yeah.
After 8 rounds.
Yeah, but listen, I've been in his training camp, and he's just a freak of nature.
When you... he puts that head down and just...
No, what he does, and that's why my fighting style is my fighting style is based on Mike Tyson and on Ramon Dekkers. Ramon Dekkers was the best Thai boxer in my book on the planet. He was the first guy in Thailand who became fighter of the year. For centuries it went to a Thai guy, but they had to give it to him because he was that good. And what he does is upper body rotation.
They know that.
And with Mike, if you see,
those Thai guys know that shit.
yeah, but the Thai guys are good, but the Dutch, they brought the Thai boxing to a whole different level. That's why the Dutch went in and they started beating the Thais over there. That was Robin Dekkers. And it's upper body rotation. But we don't want to do upper body rotation because it slows you down. If you look at Mike Tyson and in slow motion, let's say a left hook to the head, a left uppercut, and then a liver shot. You hear this, pa, pa, pa. And in slow motion, you see him doing this, boom, boom. Everything is completely turned. But he has found a way to contract his core so fast. That's why he generates that power. That's why my style is like that. That's why till this day, and I'm very proud of that, I still hold the highest striking accuracy in MMA. I mean, I never knew, but in 2015 when I got inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame, they did the stats and he says till this day he holds the highest striking percentage, 70.6%. And everybody can do this. But a lot of people throw jabs. I never did that. I've always thought if I hit you really freaking hard in the head, your defense goes up. And there's my next target. It's very basic stuff if you think about it. If I hit you 3 times really hard, now your hands for sure up. Boof, there's my body shot. Or I hit you 3 times to the body and then boom, I come with a headshot. You see, it's a very basic stuff. If I give you little pats to the body, you're not going to respect that. You're not going to block him. But if I hit as hard as I can, I'll force you in defense and this opens up. And then you can hit the head. See, it's basic stuff, but it works really well. And that upper body rotation.
Okay, so compare like the MMA and the UFC to like a Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Who never gets hit.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's just the best defensive boxer ever.
Yeah.
What is training, when you're training as a boxer versus training MMA and UFC, what's the difference in the way you would go about training, or there really isn't, other than like the kick and all
it's
that
distance.
Shit?
It's distance. The boxing distance is different. You know, in MMA with the legs, we're a little further away. In boxing, you can dive, bob and weave. You can't do that in MMA.
But I mean, like
in the
same
face.
type of cardio.
Same type of cardio, yeah. And
diet.
especially if you're like a Tyson. Like my basic thing is really simple. I train as hard as I can. Everything I hit as hard as I can. You will never see me jab it back. It's always BAM! It's everything that I want to do is with power. Because if I can do this for 7 rounds or 6 minutes, I'm not going to have a problem in the fight. Because everything is hard. You see? Now, if I jab around and I try to pick my air here and there, yeah, I'll never know my real stamina.
You're going to wear yourself out.
Yeah, you need to always push.
What was your diet like?
Yeah, I'm a really weird guy with that kind of stuff. If something works for me, I'll do it. Like I eat 2.5 pounds of sweet potatoes every morning. And people go like, I ate an enormous amount of carbs because I burn like crazy. You know, just walking, thinking I'll burn like crazy. I would eat 6 or 8 slices of bread. I would wake up at 5 with marmalade. I would pour marmalade on it because marmalade, apparently the peel from the orange, which I found out later, will stop lactic acid buildup. So that would always make me feel good somehow. So I start eating that. And once it works, well, I ate that for 6-7 years straight. I don't change.
I would too.
Because people go, yeah, but there's a variety. I go, I do this at night when I want a steak or something. But during the day, it's all clean. And then sometimes at night, I go like, okay, I'll get a big steak and this and that. But I will never real bad food. I try to avoid dairy because with my asthma in the early days, like so cheese, pork meat, milk, all that stuff. Stay away from that if you have
it's all
asthma.
bullshit. I don't know what this milk is good for you.
No.
What's good in milk?
Yeah,
There's 6 grams of protein, 50 million grams of sugar, and makes your skin thick as fucking slow.
And if I drink it at night, if I get I wake up, I can eat 10 slices of bread before I go to sleep because otherwise I wake up and eat. And if I wake up and eat, I eat whatever I find. So if it's chocolate, it's for milk, and it's like freaking Kellogg's cornflakes, and the milk always messes me up the next day, and the sugar messes me up.
Milk.
I wake
milk
up
gives
tired.
Me too.
Yeah, milk also. I don't stay away from milk.
Yeah, yeah, me too. When you got over, I just have to ask this: what was the first thing you ate that was so cool coming to America that you can remember?
Eat?
Yeah, you know, like you came from Netherlands, so you come to America. There's different stuff over there.
Yeah, well, it's all big here. It's I remember I went to.
That would make you laugh.
No, this is funny because first of all, I came here and I said I wanted eggs, right? Eggs sunny side up. In Holland, if I say I want 2 eggs with ham, you get white bread, you get the eggs sunny side up. That's it.
You know what they call them in Italy?
No.
Dippy eggs.
Dippy, yeah.
Oh, dippy eggs?
Yeah.
Oh, I got like something with breasts, maybe, because
Now you go to the doctor, you say, I want 2 dippy eggs.
okay.
Because you dip the bread in the eggs. I don't.
Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy. This episode is sponsored by Aurora. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is? For years, this crime rate has been surging and affecting millions of Americans. I'm talking about identity theft, and there's a new victim every 14 seconds. Yet despite this, those who have had their identity stolen are often shocked when it happens. That's why I'm excited to partner with Aurora, who is sponsoring this video. Aurora is identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software all into one easy-to-use app. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. Protect you and your family from America's fastest growing crime. Try Aurora for free for 2 weeks and see if you or anyone in your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial today. Go to aurora.com/MSCS. The link is in the description below.
But, that's in Holland. So I came here.
Yeah.
And I said, I can take 2 eggs. And she said, what kind of bread? I said, excuse me, what bread? And she goes, wheat, whole wheat, bread, blah, 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 all this bread. I go, just brown. What brown? What is the brown? That. Okay. How do you want your eggs? You want scrambled? You want how easy over? I go, what is that with the 2 things? And they go, sunny side up. I said, sunny side up. Okay. You want extra on it? I go, ham. Oh, you want ham on it? Okay. And then she said, super salad. And I go, yeah, I'll take one. And she goes, super salad. And I go, yeah, I'll take one. And she looks at me, she goes, soup or salad? I go, oh, I thought you said super salad. Like a super salad.
You're like a big salad.
The options that you have in America, it's great. You go in Holland to a bakery, that's where you have your options. You go to a bakery, you have 35 different kinds of bread.
Yeah, you got.
And they're all good.
You got about 2 here.
And you eat the bread with Holland, you eat it within 1 or 2 days, otherwise it's bad. But if you eat it, you're going to eat so much. Every friend of mine who comes to Holland, they say, dude, this is the best bread I ever had. Here, you can leave a bag open for a week.
Well, yeah, they
and
put
it's
so much
still good.
preservative into it.
Yeah.
I mean, ants don't even want it.
It's
The
exactly.
ants, like the bugs run away from it.
Yeah.
The bugs are like, nah, just let the bread
not
go
good
green.
there. Something
When,
good
when the
there.
bugs aren't in it, there's something wrong.
Something wrong. It's crazy. And then I went to McDonald's with the whole supersized thing. Oh, it was insanity. And they said a large Coke. I ordered a large Coke, and I got this thing.
That's like
I have never seen that in Holland. With a medium here, that's a large in Holland.
Yeah.
And then I found out about the free refills. So the next time I come back and I go, what do you want? What size Coke? I say small one. And my friends take a big one. I say it's free refills, right? Yeah, the small one. And they look at me. Why? I go, why would I pay more? And they go, shit, I never thought about that. I go, are you serious? Why if you can free refill it, why would I order a big one which costs me more money? Makes no sense to me.
Well,
sure, it's freaking peanuts, but still, you have to respect money.
What a culture change, huh?
Big culture change, yeah, big. And the pizzas suck here, except here, now you got good pizzerias, especially if you go to Chicago, Boston, New York, you got great pizzerias. But normally the big ones that they have here, and you don't have that in Holland. You don't have these sizes. Like the biggest size, that will be this. So everything is smaller portions, but that's why we don't have a lot of overweight people.
Yeah.
And you see, it's a big thing because it's all vices, man. Everybody's feeding their addictions, and it's with everything. It's like, I want more sex, I want more drinking, more this, more that, and they all think they're in control. You're completely out of control. You are not. You're the weakest person there is. No, but I like to use No, why would you use all that? Why would you eat all that? Why would you have to chase all the time? Sex. Control yourself. You know, because once you want something, you want it, and you're feeding it, you want it more, and it only escalates.
So how did you always control it? How were you able to control all that?
To simply say no. The biggest thing to say no. And listen, I'm sitting here now, but I've been a crazy guy. I mean, drugs, freaking drinking. I was always drunk. I mean, I was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, once I started really thinking about it, I felt I was enslaved. That's what in the Bible says it. And that's it. You're a slave to alcohol because you can't say no to that drink. And then I started thinking, whoa, it controls me. That little thing controls me. I had a pain pill addiction after my last fight, you know? And then I realized, but that's when it started with the enslaving. And I go, holy crap, you're right. And then I stopped everything. Then I stopped the drinking and this. And if I really want another drink, I'd say no. Because once I do it, the next day I feel bad. Even when I don't drink anymore after that. But I still did it. And I can't stand it for myself if I just broke that rule. You know, it just mentally messes with me because then that was stronger than I was. And I can't stand that. I want to be stronger than that drink. You know, and once you start applying that to everything, your life becomes so much easier. You know, I mean, like people say, oh, you look great. You're probably doing steroids. That's also a thing. You know, they said, oh, you know, look at him. He's, and he used steroids when I was fighting.
You know what's funny about when people say that? People think that you can take steroids and lose weight.
Yeah.
I got in trouble, so it's already on like paper. You can't. There's no steroid that you lose weight.
No.
There is none.
No. But also, but you know, what I tell to these people always, I say, okay, but I weigh the same now at 57 as I was. I probably look physically better than I was. So if I use then, I have to use now, right? Well, if you say I do, why don't you call a good group together and let's make a bet. You can come in for half a year. You can blood test me, not pee testing. Blood test is way more accurate every single day. You're going to pay for it, though, because you're going to lose. And because I'm not going to lose a pound, I'm not going to gain a pound. 100%, I'll take any bet for everybody there. I take any bet out there. I don't use anything. Have I ever used it before? Yes, I did. After 4 neck surgeries and completely losing your arm, you try to do everything in your power to hopefully get the... I was a stake. I mean, I couldn't pull the trigger from a gun.
Didn't you just get shot? You were shot not too long ago, right?
But what?
Didn't you get shot? Or
No.
Your friend got shot?
No.
I thought you texted me your friend got shot.
My friend, no, that was a long time ago. No, he killed himself.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk.
Yeah.
I thought that was more recent.
No. This, so you all don't need it. It's your mind telling you need it, but it's not. We have an amazing body, man. We don't need anything. That's why with the COVID and everything, we'll fight it off. Be healthy. Be healthy, take your vitamins, work out, you're going to be okay. And even if you have it, you work it out easy. It's the people who are overweight, never train, do all the wrong food. Those are the people who have to watch out. But that's their decision. You know, you have to wear a mask. Dude, I'll do it. I'll do it for everybody. I'll do it. I'm not okay with it because I believe it doesn't do anything. I talk to other doctors and they say it's actually very dangerous because you rebreathe. When you breathe out, you breathe all the toxins out. And with a mask, you don't. You keep breathing them in.
And you're not building your immune system either.
That's it. You know.
So how can you fight anything?
Just be healthy. And that was the one thing with the government, right?
Yeah.
Where was it? Take your vitamin D and C and zinc and all. Where was that? Well, who said that? I will go out and train. No, lock up in a room. Let's be more. It makes no sense.
And then
be healthy.
Did you see that study that they came out with that too much vitamin? Remember they were trying to give everybody a gazillion D3. And now they came out with the study that it affects something. I'd have to read it again. But it's the amount that they were telling everybody to take is like a dangerous amount.
Oh, this is even worse. Like I've been traveling everywhere. I always brought NAC, neck. It's really good for you because if you travel, there's a lot of pollution, a lot of metals in the air from the planes, you know, and that pulls all the metals out. A study came out that this neck, NAC, which is completely 100% safe, was good for COVID. And they took it off the market. Now tell me, what is the reason behind that?
What?
First the study comes out, see what I mean?
Yeah.
I go, and I'm the conspiracy theorist? Well, you see it. You see the thing, and then the next week they take it out of, nobody can buy it anymore.
Because they only want you to buy what they make.
It's a scary thing, man. Just be healthy for all the people. You know, you do yourself what you want to do, but then don't complain if something goes wrong.
How do you think you fix that, though? I mean... How do you think you get people to... I think they're starting to wake up. I think they're starting to wake up now.
I was in the same position. I was also the guy taking the sleeping pill. I had heartburn for heartburn, high cholesterol, blood pressure, take this. And I was taking pills. And then suddenly when I came to my senses, I said, listen, we got an amazing body from the Lord, right? We got to stop this crap. And I'm going to get healthy now. And I take 0 now. And everything is good. And then people go, oh, but you look so good. Do what I do. Like I said, I wake up 5:30. At 6 o'clock, I'm in the gym. And then I do all my meditation. I do prayers. I do everything I do. I walk the dog. I go out. I do a lot of stuff. If I'm at 8:30, I'm home. The things I did for 3 hours at least, it's amazing. You have all the time for yourself. And everybody can do it. And don't say now tomorrow, if you normally wake up at 9 o'clock, just wake up tomorrow at 8:45. And do that for a week. And a week after, go 8 to 30. You don't make it a race. Make it a journey, man. Take it easy. And then over months, suddenly you're at 5 o'clock and you don't even notice it. And now you wake up and go, man, I'm feeling really good. And then you start training, you start working out. Just do it. Just do it. But the doing thing, that's what the people can. We get weaker because we feed all the pills. America is the home of the pills. In Europe, they don't take that crap. If you're with the zero sugar, actually, I'm sorry to say, this is not legal in Holland. And in Europe, no, because it's not good for you.
I know it's bad.
So, but there's a lot of stuff like that you cannot have over there, but they just feed it to you here, and it makes no sense to me. So, just live healthy, and you'll be amazed what you can do. Your own body does. You will heal everything. We don't need the crap. We're designed to fight it off ourselves. But if you decide to squander everything and just eat whatever you want,
well, then you're going to squander yourself. Right?
Yeah, but then don't complain.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the only thing I'm saying.
What was your favorite country? All the countries you've been to. What's your top 3?
Oh, it's a hard. Italy. I like Italy a lot. Hawaii, because it's just so nice and relaxed back. To visit also relaxed. I don't know. I really want to go to Ireland and Scotland. I can't believe that I've never been there because we're neighbors in Holland.
You never been to Ireland?
No, and it's big on my list now. I really want to go, and I think that one could be because I like the people so much there. You have a feeling if you get in a bar fight there, it's just fists. Nobody pulls a knife. No, you see, and I love that. Just come out, scrap it, and they're friends, and we go have a beer inside. Everybody's singing again.
Some French fries,
McGregor, when he came with all the his whole country behind him.
Yeah.
I was sitting next to them, and I was just messing with him because I'm a big McGregor fan. He was fighting Chad Mendes, and I was go, come on, Chad, on purpose because he was sitting next to me, and we started bickering and fighting, but all fun and games. Nobody gets angry because we know it was jokes. That's just good people. I just like the people, so I should go there.
You think we'll come back all the way after that leg? I think you might have got up a little bit too quick on that.
I don't know. I think getting all that money and all wealth as a fighter it's very hard to stay normal. I mean, if they would have given me that money when I was there, I'm amazing that he still walk around and does everything that he does. But his training is hurting on it, 100%.
Yep.
If you wake up in the morning and you say, make me a sandwich to somebody and they make a sandwich, you get used to that. You don't need to do that. You need to be Rocky style, and that's actually in the Rocky movie. You need to go, pull your way, go to Russia, do something, get back to the roots. That's how you should start training, because that made you strong. All the flunder and all the thing, it doesn't. It makes you weaker. It is. Nobody can say it. You might think it's not. It is. It's some who said that? Bernard Hopkins, I believe he said. It's very hard to
when you Hopkins, that's our boy.
Yeah, when you sleep in silk sheets, it's very hard to stay a fighter.
But I'll tell you what, Bernard Hopkins, he came out of jail at 56 and he fought. He got his ass kicked, but.
He's an animal, dude.
He's a fucking animal.
One of my favorites.
All these boxers, and even when this is the problem in the society right now. It's like you lose a few fights and people write you off, and I go, "There's such an amazing fighters, and just to be in there. There's fighters that we know that will never be the world champion, but I know that if you as a fighter have to fight him and you're the world champion, everybody will tell you, good luck with that one, because they're so tough, And that's why I always say, if you have recognition from your peers, that should be it. Don't focus on the belt. I swear to God, I never thought about a belt. Never came up until somebody told me, and he says, Bas, you won like freaking 15 in a row now, or whatever it was, 14. They never give you a title shot. I said, oh, really? And I just got angry. I said, are you avoiding me? And then I became vocal, and they gave me a title shot. But I was never, when I got the belt, it was great, but it was never to me like, that was my moment. It really wasn't. It was my daughter's born. It was my first fight. That's still till this day the best fight I ever had. You know, so yeah, it was great. If I lost as a fighter, I never was down. I see fighters that crushed, they're crying and the thing. I go, dude, if you just take this information that you have now and you work on the problem that you have, that fight, that loss just made you stronger. If you use it the right way. If you decide not to work on the thing and they drop you again with the same stuff, that's stupidity. You shouldn't do that. But officially, if you make it stronger, you become a stronger fighter just because of the loss. So relax. I partied just as hard when I lost and won. And it was never a difference. That's a good thing about party. There's always a reason, right?
Yeah.
If you lose, hey. And if you win, hey. It's always like
Either way, it's a party, right?
That's it. It's always.
I have to ask you, that middle picture, where is that? I know they touched that up.
Yeah.
But
That's just in the studio somewhere in
it's
LA.
studio.
Yeah. That, like I said, I still look like that right now. So I'm very happy with that. But it's again, I work on it. I work out every day, you know, and my workouts are literally 30, 40 minutes, but they're different than other workouts. Like I do everything supersets. For me, it's no rest. Boom, 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 boom. Next exercise. Dun, 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 dun. Pushing, pulling. You know, always work the other. So while I'm pulling, and then I go pushing. And now the pulling muscles can rest. And then I go back to the pulling. I do this 4 times to the next 2 exercises, next 2 exercises, next 2 exercises. Everything goes fast. If I do boxing, it's 10 rounds. That's it. You know, 10 rounds or 3 minutes. Always short and intense workouts. That's what I like to do. I don't like weights, but I have to for my freaking arm.
Yeah. Tell everybody what happened with your arm. That's some serious shit, though.
Yeah, so this is from fighting. I said, no, look, let me see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, look, there's a whole hole here. You see this? The muscle is gone. It's atrophied. And what happens is, it's not a pull, it's your nerve. So I was doing a fight scene in a movie, and I was hanging upside down, this high above the ground, but that's enough if you're 210 pounds, and I fell. And it crushed my nerves together. And it was very painful in my shoulder. I had no clue what was going on. And it was like a month later, but I didn't use this arm because it was pain. Then I had to go to an autograph session in Boston. And I go, man, I can't travel like that. So I went to the doctor and said, can you put the cortisone shot in here, please? So I put the cortisone shot, and now the pain was gone. So I'm at the airport, and I tried to pick up my luggage, and I couldn't pick it up. And I'm freaking out. And I pick my other arm. I go, okay, so it's my arm. And I look in the mirror, and I look at my wife. I go, is my arm getting smaller? Look at this. This is really weird. And it started slinking. It was really weird. So I lost all power. I couldn't pull the trigger from a gun, couldn't snap my fingers, couldn't eat with chopsticks, couldn't. Like I said before, I used to do 9 one-arm pull-ups. All the fighters always in the subway in Japan, they say, Bas, show us. And I would, not from stretch out from here, I would just pull up.
Can you imagine on 9?
No.
How much did you weigh at the time?
No.
Same as now, 210. I was always 210, 205.
I'm lucky if I could do regular pull-ups. Jesus Christ.
But you see, going from that to suddenly grabbing a can, and you go like, what?
Yeah.
Can't grab a can. Can't grab the milk out of the fridge. Dude, that as a fighter, where you always depend on your body, and suddenly that happens, that was very hard for me to deal with mentally. Yeah, so once I got my fingers back, I could snap and pull the trigger, and my triceps, at least I can make a straight punch now,
Yeah.
you know. I said, okay, Lord, I'm not complaining anymore. I'm happy now. So, yeah.
Give me a time that something, like whether it was a business, a fight, whatever it may be, where just everything just went completely wrong and how you handled it. In case somebody's watching this, and just like because, you know, a lot of people look up to you. Look what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just when everything just went wrong, where you almost gave up, but you didn't.
Well, but in any situation,
Not give up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
Well,
no matter what it was.
well, that for me, that was the pain pill addiction. That was like literally that I realized that this little thing got.
Or
a hold
other
of
than
me.
that, just like
Yeah.
another thing. Just something interesting.
I've been very blessed always with everything. Yeah, with the arm also, it really mentally got me. But you know, I'm really good in put back positivity in me. You know, I always, you know, if you're really down, make a list. Like I was, this was it. It was after my last fight in 2006. I had so many injuries, $23,000 I lost already, just for rehab in the fight. And I had no money at the time. And then the fight was almost off because Kimbo Leopoldo, the person I was supposed to fight, tested positive. And I told him, I said, I don't care. I fight him anyway. It doesn't.
He was on
Chemo.
Winstrol. No, it was on one.
Who was it? Chemo?
Kimbo Leopoldo.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, he was on one straw and something else.
So now suddenly it was like, oh crap. I gave money out that I didn't have. I need this money because it was a good payday. It was $225,000, which was at the time a good payday for me because I never had money like that. In the UFC, it was like 55,000, which was at the time 60,000 for 3 fights, and I had 55 for a single. So it was good money for that at the time. So I really needed the money, and then thankfully a guy stepped up, and I had the fight. But I was so injured afterwards. That's why the pain pills went wrong, slowly but surely. But there was maybe it was because from above it was like you cannot fight anymore. That suddenly fighting was taken away from me. But I got depression, and I'm always up, and that really did some damage to me. Like I would drive around and then I would see like an overpass, and I would start thinking about driving my car against the overpass. And I go, dude, what are you thinking? What's going on? You know, and it got really spooky. I got really scared, like hurting myself. Like these commercials when people sit down, you know, and they walk into depression, and you go like, be happy, dude.
Yeah, and they're like,
Doesn't work like-
call this number right now. That makes me want to put my head through the window. when I hear that.
Yeah, but the worst part is
TV, I mean.
when you're depressed and somebody says, just think happy things.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that, dude. And like now, if I see these people, my heart breaks because I was there. It's like something, and you don't know what it is. You can't fix it. And then I go, I'm able to fix everything. Why can't I fix this? Oh, what did I do in fighting? Make a list. Start writing down. And I wrote all the good things that I had in life and all the bad things I had in life. And then you read the bad things are this, and the good things just keep on going. And then you realize I'm actually having a really good life. And if you think about every person 6 feet under, whatever problem you have, he'll trade places for you with you in a second. Think about that.
And now, how long did that take you to get over? Because you
2.5 months, 2.5, 3 months. But it was a scary 2.5, 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you don't know why you want to kill yourself with a family,
Yeah.
thank God I had my family. What if I wouldn't have had my family? That's what I'm thinking now. I might have done it. You know. So, yeah. Try to seek help. You know, we live in this world where apparently they say you're not a man if you look for help. Think about this. In Holland they have a saying, a man cannot cry, right? Because then you're not a man. You know what they say in Japan? A real man has the balls to cry in public. I take that.
Yeah.
Because that's a real man, indeed. Because if you try to hide it, you're insecure. That's it. You're caring what other people think. Screw these people. They don't give a crap about you. They don't pay anything. They throw you out as soon as you do street fights.
If they were your friend, they wouldn't care no matter what you said.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. So just know, there's other people out there than you, and there's always somebody who has it worse than you. That's a line I always had. When I was eczema, I knew with my asthma attack that I had for a week, every 5 weeks, I knew there were guys out there who had that 365 days a year. Like I had only for a week. So compared to them, wasn't that bad. That eczema I had here and my face and my thing here, I knew people out there were completely covered like that.
And I don't see a mark on you.
Yeah.
I don't see like any acne scars, nothing.
I became freaking Wolverine because of it. Like you have no clue. If I would get cut, my friends were like freaking out. I would have a cut, 2 days later, can't see anything anymore, completely gone. Because my skin was repairing from when I was 6 years old to 17 all day long.
I bet that helped you in fighting.
Helped me a lot in fighting a lot because I would lock up people going, well, you had a cut. I go, I just heal like freaking crazy. You see, everything, when you have it, it's most of the time for a reason also. Every obstacle you have, if you embrace it, not go around it, because then you don't fix it. Face your problem. So it's not a problem anymore. Avoiding it, it will always come back. Just freaking face it straight on. Yes, it might be a pain addiction, a pill addiction. It might be 11 days of freaking nightmare, right? But after that, the freaking sun goes open, skies open, everything becomes much better. Because once you start with a pain pill, and you will not hear one good story from a guy who started taking pain pills and who became a champion. There's not one. Or successful in life, not one. It always goes wrong. So why not stop it now?
And guess who gives those pain pills?
Yeah, the doctors.
Fucking PCPs.
In Holland, you can't. In Holland, you're going to have cancer or something in order to get OxyContin. My wife goes to the doctor. She almost slapped the doctor in the face. My daughter's 14 years old. No, a dentist. Want to give her Vicodins for a toothache. And my wife said, are you freaking stupid? For a toothache. 14 years old.
I mean, I could see if you're getting your wisdom teeth out, maybe.
When I was,
but
But I was a kid.
Yeah.
We had no. They didn't know
Put
anything.
it out with the string.
Yeah, that was crazy. Then you see how old I am. And my dentist, you know his name is, translate to American, Sledgehammer.
Well,
That was his last name.
I'm not going to him.
Oh.
was his name?
You're not catching me going there.
He was
I'm
bored.
thinking a new dentist.
I bet you saw the name. He says, "I'm going to be a dentist." You know? Klinkhammer, Sledgehammer.
So you got to tell me one. Obviously, I copy off Joe Rogan. So give me a good Joe Rogan story.
A good Joe Rogan story. Joe. You know, I'm just mesmerized by him. The knowledge and the and what he always says. He says, "I'm not smart. I just can remember everything." But he's smart. You know, doing stand up, doing acting, doing everything that he does. He's like The Rock almost. You know, they work so hard, and somehow they can. He just finds time to hunt, and he finds how can you do that with a schedule like he has? It's all managing. A good friend of mine told me that, Amir. He said it's managing is the word of the day for your entire life. There's no problems. You just have to manage the problems. There's no good thing. You manage it. Everything manage it. Never bring it down. Everything that tries to take control over you, you got to tone it down. Because otherwise it becomes an addiction. Whatever it is, the addiction comes. Even anger is an addiction. You see, so if you keep feeding it, the beast, it will keep on growing. You got to stop it, but you have to recognize these things. You know, once you start doing that with everything, it becomes so much better. So with Joe, I don't know a Joe story. I mean, when I see him kicking a bag or and then
he's really good at that.
Yeah,
right?
I mean everything he does. And
have you ever seen him spar or anything?
No, not seen him spar, but I know. Listen, if you're a black belt with Eddie Bravo, these freaking machines, man. And Joe is really good on the ground, like really good. And yeah, that time when he was doing that show, what was it? When they eat the spiders.
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor, you know, and the one guy tried to fight him. I go, dude, you would have been cleaned up. He will go after him. Yeah, but it's just an amazing person, you know. And the cool thing is, I heard that from him and Kevin James. They were friends, you know, always been friends, and they would always watch my fights in the Japan Pancras from pay-per-view. So when I came to America, within 3 months, I met Kevin, and he became a good, close friend of mine. And we're like, that's in '97, so we're already 25 years. And we clicked right away. And then you hear the stories from Joe also. He's just a good guy, you know. I don't think there's a bad bone in Joe. All the things, you know, what happened when the video came out with the N-word and all that stuff. That's so bad what people do, you know. And then they erase it so they can never.
All they did was they chopped up 10 years.
Yep.
Right? And there's another African-American across from him, and they're just joking around.
Yep.
But they made it out to be this whole big thing. You know why? Because he went after Big Pharma.
That's it. Yep. And there you go. You can't do that. And now you remember with what was it? The horse dewormer. And in India, everywhere in the country, in the world, where the lowest numbers are for COVID, it's where they take ivermectin.
I know. For the parasites.
Yeah.
So they never got it because they were always taking the ivermectin because it kept the parasites away. So they had the lowest rate of fucking COVID, but these idiots are like, nope, you can't have it. You can't have it. Remember that whole damn thing?
Yeah.
Then you couldn't even be on YouTube. If you went on YouTube and said ivermectin, they'd ban you, strike you, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a complete insanity right now. It's a shame, you know, because news is not news anymore. You don't believe it anymore. I don't listen anymore. I can't watch news anymore. It makes me angry, and I don't want to watch it. I can't sleep. My wife watches. I said, turn that shit off. You know, put some fun stuff off. Let's watch a show together. You know, we're watching.
I got two choices: the ID channel, TLC, or the news. Which would you pick?
Well, I did ID investigation for a long time, and then there were two stories.
Every guy did it. Even you're from Holland.
Yeah.
Even.
But you know what? I saw two stories, and that was so evil. I could never watch it anymore.
Me and Rob were talking. We were thinking like, all this ID channel stuff and all this Smurf stuff. I think it's really affecting society, like in a major, huge way. Yeah. Right, Rob?
Yeah.
Oh, but listen, I have people coming to me and they see Jackie Chan and they say, why is he not fighting? They 100% believe that this guy's a complete fighter, you know, or other actors. And then you have actors who do like a boxing movie, and then they go, hey, maybe I should start boxing. I go, don't even think this, dude. Are you stupid?
Yeah.
They will kick your ass. You don't. You see him hit and kick, like, don't.
With the special effects. Yeah.
Everybody can look good on camera. They make 2-3 punches, they stop. That's how they make fight scenes. I've been there 100 times.
Cut.
It's literally, it's not like Jackie Chan's a different ball game. He can do 10 minutes in a row. But now we're talking about elite guys. And there's some guys out there, but they're martial artists. But the actors who try...
Yeah, they do 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop.
Yeah, do the
and
few
then come back tomorrow.
Yeah, that's literally how they do it. They put it together and go, oh my God, they fought a whole fight. No, they didn't.
Rob wanted to ask you something.
So how did you meet you when we were coming up here, when I picked you up, when we come up in the elevator? You're talking about Kevin James.
Yeah.
How did you meet him? How did that all come about?
Well, that was when I came to
question.
America.
Great question.
Because like I said, he was watching together with Joe Rogan these fights, and then he was doing the first season of The King of Queens. I remember meeting him at his 1-bedroom apartment that he shared with his brother. That was all the way back. I had no clue who he was, and we just connected right away, and we started trading. And he's an amazing athlete, actually. Like, people will be amazed. I always talk about this in Kevin. Here Comes the Boom, the movie that we did. There's the final scene when he fights Krzysztof Sosinski, and where he's got caught in an armbar, and he lifts him up and he slams him on the ground, and he's out, right? And what they have to do, they have to bring a crane in, because they need to be controlled, right? For the film, it needs to be controlled. But just before they brought the crane in, there were like 500 extras in the place. And Kevin said, "Can I have everybody's attention?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" He said, "Everybody stops, can I have your attention?" Yes, Christoph, come here. He said, "Put me in an armbar." And he grabs him, lifts him up,
No shit.
boom, lifts him up, boom, lifts him up, boom, and he looks, okay, everybody saw I can do it? Yeah, okay, bring in the crane now. I just want to make sure. And sure enough, people started saying, I think it's on the Blu-ray, but people start saying we could never do that. I said, ask the 700 people there. He did it 3 times in a row. Once he started doing curls for 50 pounds and his punching, his boxing technique, when you see him on the focus mitts, that's him. That's not speed up. Wow. That's him. So yeah, now he's his hand-eye coordination is really good. Whatever golf, whatever he does, he just in sports he's really good. The first time when I came home after training him, my wife says, and I go, he's a big guy, but everything I say he's doing on the spot. Like if I correct him, he'll do it from that moment that he does it correct. I go, it's amazing. So real good eye-hand coordination.
And he seems like just like a down-to-earth, like funny guy, like he is. He's funny.
He will,
right?
Yeah, and he won't stop. He's always on.
Yeah.
Like he will, like a lot of these comedians, they're up and down. They have, mental issues, and he is always on.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
He's just always fun. Like we always. He has the same thing. I say every time when we go, I pain my jaw, my head from laughing. We're constantly finding little funny things out of everything, and. It's a special mind how that works, because he sees something and then he goes boop, and you see him already writing it down, because that he might use that for his stand-up routine. You see, and that's what I was with fighting. I see a move, I would write it down. I had whole logs. I wrote everything down. I just steal. That's what every fighter did, by the way. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, what do you think they got it from? They made it up? No, of course not. They stole it and they made it themselves, and they made better things. That's what I did myself as well. Everybody does that. But if you're smart, you're writing it down, because a lot of things we think we remember, but you always forget. Log everything. As a fighter, log, because then once you go over it, after a month, you go, oh, this I don't do anymore, and it was so effective. Okay, let's start this again. You see, you start forgetting because there's too much. So write it down. And the same with food. I always logged everything. If you want to find out what is bad for you, it's very simple. For 1 month straight, if you work out, log everything. Whatever you eat, write it down. And then after, you write below, the workout today was great. The workout was 70%. And don't look at anything. And then after 1 month, you pick out all the bad workouts, and then you look what you ate. And 90% of the time, it's the same stuff that you ate. Oh, now you scratch that out. And now you won't have that anymore.
I figured it out.
You see? And that, if you just do that, and if it's your job, you should do that, then everything becomes easier. It's so simple. You just have to do it. It's like the
breathing. Yeah,
but the breathing, 4 minutes. You're going to work out anyway. Why don't you do 4 minutes before and then work out? It's the only thing you have to do. It takes 4 minutes every time. You don't have to do a breathing class in an hour and a half. 4 or 5 minutes. That's it. Just do it.
I'm sure you can explain this better than anybody. So street fighting, right? When you think of street fighting, you think 2 kids out in the street fighting. But real street fighting. What is real street fighting? Like, I think a street fighter like Brad Pitt. they go in the basement. And is that how it really is?
Yeah, well, that's...
I remember my friend from Brooklyn used to tell me he was a street fighter. I said, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You look like one, pal.
I had a guy who did street karate. That's a funny story, actually. I'll tell the story. Let's be okay. So I'm training Kimbo Slice, right? I was his coach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from the beginning, he started when he fought Ray Mercer. First fight, I started training him. And he became bigger. And then suddenly he was fighting for tap out somewhere. We had a tap out party. Yeah. And we go to the party, and these guys come in, these white guys come in who sell a lot of jewelry. And they all, with the tight pants and the tight belts and the shirts in there, and I see right away with the big chains and walking around, I go, oh, here we go. And we're talking as fighters, and they know the room. That's what I always say. Make sure that you know who you're talking to. And this guy hears me about fighting. We're talking. Somebody tells a fighting story, and he goes, "Yeah, I used to do karate." One of those guys. And I go, "Excuse me? Yeah, not normal karate. I used to do street karate." I say, "Street karate? Yeah." I go, "Do it." And I look at my buddies. And I go like, "Shut up! Let him talk. I want to see what he's going to say." Yeah. He says, "Yeah, my routine has saved my life 7 times. I swear to God." I go, "Your routine?" I go, "Dude, you got to show me your routine." And without any hesitation. So imagine I'm standing here. Here's my face, my nose forward. He's doing this. So he puts his elbow right in front of my plexus, and then he goes, "Bah!" And he shakes his fist in front of my face, and he says, "And when I do that, they all do this." And then I go, and he stands in front of me. Thump! He goes to the throat. And when I do that, they all do this. He said, and then I grab him by the neck, and dude, this became the funniest thing. And this is going to be even funny what I'm going to say. So he grabs me. And he knees, and he looks me dead in the eye. He throws him back, and while he looks me in the eye, he does this. And I should have milked it more, but I couldn't. I had to let go. And I go, nah. You never did that. I
we'll
said,
pass him
7 times? Not in a million years. You're a very aggressive person. I had 2 moments in my life with all my street fighting and my bouncer that I thought, okay, this can go wrong. I might get killed here. 2 times. From all the times. And this guy 7 times in his saved his life to do that. So my present to him was, in the movie Here Comes the Boom, I'm teaching disco street fighting. I don't know if you know that scene. When I said, I literally do knee to the face, throw away, stomp. Victory dance. I put that from that guy, put that in the movie. Yeah. You can watch the movie. Now you know the story behind it. Yeah. But that's what people are. They just think, and I go, dude, read the room. This professional fighters, that stuff, you're making it up. It's what makes no sense.
Now, what was harder, training to be a fighter or training to be an actor almost, or doing that?
Well, no, training to be an actor is very hard. Yeah. The biggest compliment I got from Here Comes the Boom, I had such a great reviews, and it's because Kevin really worked with me, and somebody said, "Bas, you just played yourself." And I remember my first acting class that the acting coach said, "Once they tell you that you look like yourself,
that's good.
That's really good, because that means you're completely comfortable with what you're doing." So that was a good feeling, but it's hard. Acting is hard. I don't have a photographic memory like some of these guys that I know, so I have to hammer the scenes in there, and once it's in there, then you can really start working it, and you do it a few different ways. There's so much to do, but you have to understand also, when I came to America, because people say, "Oh my God, you were acting great," and yeah, but I was taking acting classes within 3 weeks because I knew eventually after fighting I wanted to do something in the movies, whether it was fight scenes or fight choreography or maybe acting. I didn't know, I didn't know what I could do. So I figured to start doing acting classes. And I remember in front of an acting, I did a Russian scene. I don't remember that movie. It was with Viggo Mortensen. Remember in The Russian, that he's a Russian guy? It's a badass movie. And I did a scene from there. And there was a moment in that I had, this is in front of the class. There's a shot glass and I have to pour a drink in. I couldn't do it and I go, man. And then the coach said to me, what you do, first of all, get a pourer. And second of all, touch it on the glass. And it's okay, because if you hold it above it and you shake, they can see it, but just touch the glass. But once you become comfortable, like when I was a fighter, I was more nervous for interviews than for fighting. In beginning, I was nervous for fighting, but it becomes normal because you keep doing it, you know?
Repetition.
The repetition, it's like every addiction also, right? It becomes normal to you, but it's not normal. But it's a fighting also. It's not normal, but it becomes normal because you're doing it every single day. Then you start doing more interviews. Oh, now that's easy too.
Why'd you hate the interviews, though?
I don't know. I was so nervous for it because my English maybe, that I couldn't speak English yet that's so well. But then you simply
Who gives a fuck? You want?
Yeah, I know, but still,
Say something.
you always want to be cool. I think
No, I'm just.
no, but that's a good thing that you touch on that because I think it comes from when I was young with my skin disease.
Yeah.
People always talking about me, and then I always thought that all eyes are on me because if I walked in, oh, yeah, the guy there's the leper. So then you think as an actor, if all the eyes are on you, now you feel pressure, and to deal with that pressure, it's
See,
actually
now
hard.
look, as big of a guy as you are, you just admitted that.
Yeah, but because I
But
want
I mean,
other people to hear
I'm
that.
going back to the point that you made.
Yeah, yeah, but because other people will have that,
Yeah.
and now you know where it comes from.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if it helps one person, they always say, right, my job is done, right? If, again, one person pull it through.
Now,
That's it. But yeah, acting is hard.
coming through the point where you talked about you were, got bullied, you got picked on as a kid and all that type of stuff, and it made you stronger as you got older. You see it a lot nowadays. We talk about all the time on the show, like, wear orange today for anti-bullying day.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
What do you think they should be teaching kids that, 'cause unfortunately there are kids that still get picked on. It happens. What should you be teaching these kids instead of, wear orange, saying that's going to help you, stop getting picked on,
I used to do anti-bullying bullying campaigns for Cartoon Network and fitness campaigns and all that stuff. It's really funny stuff online if you can find. It's really fun, yeah. But for the kids who get bullied, and I said, learn how to fight. And they go, you can't say that. And I go, because I understand also there's kids that simply can't fight. Maybe they're overweight, maybe they don't have anything.
Sure.
But the best thing is literally to speak up. And it's again, go to an adult and get the adult and speak up. Go to your parents, say, hey, I get bullied. Because I didn't do it, because you don't want to. You're afraid as a kid, you think, oh, you're pussy. No, you're not.
But what is bullied, though? What is bullied? Somebody says you're fat or you're skinny or you're ugly. That's bullying? I mean, that's what they say it is now.
Yeah, true. But that you can do things. It's a very bad society we live in.
Yeah.
The society is now that they bring all the standards down. Everybody gets a prize. We know all this, in the gym. Nobody can lose anymore. You set them up for failure.
Yep.
Don't we want our kids not to die before us because of their overweight and for cholesterol or want your kids healthy? No, but it's so easy as parents because they're not parents anymore. They just give them whatever they want because then they shut up. Oh, I want to eat. No, you don't eat. I want a burger. No, you don't get a burger. Oh, then I get it. Give them the freaking burger. Because that's easier.
Yeah,
Instead of cooking something
we talk
healthy.
about this all the time.
Yeah.
So say me and 10 other kids, me and Rob's kids bust our ass. We wake up, we go to work out before we go to school. We go to school all day. We come home, we eat dinner. We work out to 8 o'clock. We go to bed so we can get up. We work our ass off, but then everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah, makes no
Even though
sense.
we broke every record
Bullshit.
that there is.
Yeah, but the problem is that now
But
that
then-
later
then-
in
then
life,
it's like, why am I going to do that?
Yeah,
Why
but-
am I going to get up and work out for nothing?
but you know what the dumbest thing is? You can be everything you can be.
Yeah.
You can never be you want. You can't. I want to be a jet fighter
Correct,
pilot.
correct.
I'll crash that thing immediately. I know because I have an ADHD. I can't. I want to, but I can't. So don't tell a kid he can do everything because there he stands with his chocolate milk and his big freaking oversized Coca-Cola eating pizza. Oh, you can be everybody you want. You can. No, you can't.
Yeah.
You got to work for something. The school, because they let you pass the whole time, tells you that you can. No, let him fail in front of the class. Oh, it's so hard. Not hard.
Amen.
Because then it's up to the decision to him to say, I don't like this feeling. Maybe I should go jog around the park tonight. Maybe I should inspire him. That should inspire him. That's what I said with fighting. If I lost, I wasn't down. That should inspire you to train even harder. And that's the same thing with kids. But the parents drop them off at the school. They go to whatever,
Give
pick
them
them up.
iPad,
They don't.
whatever.
That's it. They don't want to do things with them. And throw a ball with a kid. Do something. Bring him outside. Make it healthy. But we don't have the time anymore because this is so important to get more likes. And oh, look at this guy. While you're sitting with people, some friends of mine, they're constantly on the stupid phone. I go, dude, you're 45 years old. What are you doing on your stupid phone? Throw this phone away.
Don't get me started on that one.
That will be
Do not get me started on that one.
Dude, you know what
I use the phone for one thing and one thing only. Business.
That's it. Oh,
And
good.
family. Business and family.
100%. That's good.
That's it.
You know,
Rob, Have you ever seen me? I don't.
Never.
I don't
Never.
mess with that.
Never.
You know what? I did the Exodus 90.
Business, family, and friends. You know?
Yeah. No,
Other
but
than that,
that's what the Exodus 90 is. The Exodus 90 is the Catholic program. Is what you're doing is for 90 days. It's like Lent on steroids, right? So you can have only 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day, nothing in between. No sugars, no wheat, no drinking, no cigar. All the things that you normally do, smoking cigars or drinking a glass of wine, not. Can't watch TV. Also not. One day, on Sunday, you can break the rule by getting one vice. So if you say, I want to smoke a cigar, you smoke a cigar on Sunday. You want to watch your favorite show on TV? No, you cannot be on your phone. You can be on your computer. Only for work. You can be there. You cannot listen to crazy music and F-bombs and this. No, only music that is normal. You have to do cold showers only. You have to work out rigorously. And once you start doing that, and I did it for 90 days. I actually did it twice. And my social media went down 80%. Now I realize, dude, I'm wasting so much time. Now I got a book. I started learning instead of watching stupid TV, and suddenly my whole world, that's why everything started changing with me. It was just those 90 days and do it with a group, and you check in with each other the whole time. Hey, you still on? You do this? Don't break. Oh, no, I lost it. Okay, let's not do this anymore. Help him, push him so he won't break the rule anymore. And that was it. That was everything started.
I don't think we have 90 people right now that we can find to do that.
That's true. That's the problem.
That is.
Everybody needs to be fast. When you sell something online, right? You know that you have to have a buy button immediately there. Because if somebody, this is proven, if they have to scroll 3 pages, they're already lost interest. They're already gone.
To the next page.
They cannot hold.
That's why Amazon's such a killer, because you go boom, 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 and it's there in 2 days.
This thing, you know what everybody tells me? Why don't you make it electronic? Why don't you counter reps, make an app for it? No. You cannot force yourself for 4 freaking... This thing you can throw it against the wall, you'll have it for the rest of your life. Do it with an electronic. Oh, you need batteries? Oh, what if the battery dies? What? Oh, right?
And
just focus for 4 minutes.
And that's also helping somebody.
That's a helping.
So you don't want to make somebody that doesn't have a lot of money go have to buy batteries every other 2 weeks. You might as well give them a heart monitor.
Yeah, but Bas, how you feel it then? Of how you know you're getting better? You feel it. You feel it immediately. Why won't you?
Everybody
that
wants everything sense. Right now, this second. The problem is, I always say, no one wants to work for anything anymore. Meaning, you said that takes time. You're going to do it. You're going to have to do it consistently. You got to do it. You got to put time into it to receive something back. But
only 5 minutes. That's the worst thing.
Correct. But I'm saying, if you don't take those 5 minutes and you're done, you're never going to fix.
Yep.
You have to take the time to do it. Everybody wants something. Well,
the magic pill.
Correct. Done now. And there's this one that Tom, I thought I'd tell you this. There's a song. It's a country song. But I heard the lyrics.
I live in Texas now. I love it.
I heard the lyrics to it.
I like it. I like everything.
And the lyrics were, it was Alabama is the name of the band from years ago. My mom used to listen to them. And the song really got me. It was, I'm in a hurry to get things done. I rush and I rush till life's no fun. All I gotta do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and I don't know why.
Oh.
So it was saying all we worry about is rush, hurry up. We got to get this done. This has to get done.
You never take time.
You never take time. You're rushing what? You're rushing life. All you got to do is live and die. That's basic. I mean, you got to make money and all that other stuff comes along. But it's just interesting to see how we're in such a society where it's quick. This has to get done. This. And you're not spending time for yourself, your family, or things like that.
It's like you're rushing to die, right? It's like you're
all
rushing to
other
die.
people, what other people think of me. I need the likes. And the kids are growing up like that. It's horrendous. And then all the models who Photoshop their pictures, and then all the girls want to look like that. I mean, they're lying to you. And now the kids want to be, and you have kids for 14, 15 years old. Breast implants when they're 16 years old in the school where my daughters went to school. 16 years old. The parents should go to jail for that. It's unbelievable. Oh, my nose. I want to fix my nose. You're 16 years old. Wait.
They're not even all the way developed.
That's what I mean. Just wait with this, And all these pictures that you see itself. You remember when it was with the Kardashians, somebody made a picture and it showed up and it was not photoshopped. And it was, oh my God, she put a picture out, oh my God. And it was this whole big thing, and I go like, and you cry about that? So everything else that you sent out was pretty much a lie then? Was like, you was fixed? What message do you send to the young girls who want to be like that? Everything needs to be perfect. It shouldn't be. I was, what's her name? Liz. They used to call her the most ugly woman in the world. That woman, a very scary woman, a skinny woman.
I can name a lot of them.
Yeah, no, but and she's the most powerful lady, man. She's the most powerful lady. But she had just a birth defect or something with the face and wrong, and then people literally telling videos and saying that she's the world's ugly. Imagine you're 17 years old and you're in that body, and then you get the crap from all these people around it. How sad these people are, and hopefully they're going to figure out when they grow up that that's the worst thing to do that you can do to a person. I mean, look what it did to me. To me, it's lit a fire, and to her, it also lit a fire because she's speaking. She's doing speaking events everywhere. She's a super powerful lady. But I mean, it's unbelievable what people do behind their stupid computers and begging people down with fake accounts also because they're too afraid. You see, what heroes.
I never thought about it like that. All those girls put them filters on, the filters, the bigger ass, the bigger boobs. And then the 12-year-old girl that has the phone sees that's going to be 13, and that's going to be 14.
And they don't have that.
And when she's 14, she's going to want to look like that.
100%.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these doctors are actually doing this shit?
Yeah.
They should go to jail for that. All these things that you when you start building on yourself, if your kids really want it, wait till you're 18.
Yeah.
You make that decision.
Right.
But as a parent, you should never make that decision because it's going to backfire. I guarantee you that.
At 18, whatever.
It's there. It's their thing. And if you were a real mom and dad, she's probably not going to do it.
Right. Because you would have had to talk to her.
But if you are a woman like that who has been her whole life like that, everything is about to look. Oh, look at her. That woman is fat. Oh, look at this. She has a big chin. You have so many people like that pointing out the flaws of other people. What a pieces of crap are those people, right?
As a man that we all are in here, how about the craziest shit? When you go and you see a guy, because he doesn't want to go to the gym, go get pec implants, bicep implants.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really...
I mean, really?
You think you're going to look in the mirror at night, you're going to say, that's a real man.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Hey, pal, that's going to pop eventually. It's like silicone.
But it's so dangerous also. But okay, I can understand it. For instance, like I would never do it because I don't. But I can understand if somebody has to lose an arm with that, and I say, okay, to make it fit.
Sure.
But as a person who never trains and to do that, and the girls with
just so you can walk on the beach
with butt implants, and I go, why would you do a butt implant? And you know why they do it? Because everybody points at them and say, "Oh, but and then they talk bad about them and they get forced into do it." That's the sickest thing.
How about this? They get the butt implants. They see on the news that however many people in the United States, not Colombia, not wherever, put what was it? Fix a flat.
Fix a flat.
Fix a flat. You know what that is?
No.
It's the
to put it in a tire.
Yeah, like when you have a flat tire. Well, there was hundreds and hundreds of women that they were putting fix a flat in their butt, and that's how they were giving them a big butt. And then it went on from state, right? It was like
down in Miami it was huge. They did it in Miami a lot.
It was like 10,000.
But you know what? It cannot be healthy.
And has.
No, they're
and then they went back down again.
Yeah.
But you see, that's again you're feeding, and once you start feeding it, then you find everything wrong with you. And now it's at the nose, and now we get the eyes, and they got the lift eyes, and this. And look at the housewives and all these shows. They all look the same, right?
TV.
They all look the same.
Yep.
They have the same implants, whatever they do. They have the same faces. You shouldn't do that. It's just a wrong message that you send out. Are you allowed to do it? Be my guest.
Yeah.
But don't start complaining if your kids now also want to do that at a young age. But you kind of did that. Right?
They do all look the same. He's right. They do.
They go to the same people. You can tell. They have the same breasts. They have everything is the same.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? And if you think about it, when they do that, subconsciously, they're pushing it down everybody's throat.
But
because you put the show on at 7, they all look the same.
Yep.
The show at 8, okay, maybe you got a blonde in that one.
Yep.
You know what I mean? 9, okay, you got 3 guys that are 9 foot tall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the worst is kids seeing it and thinking that's normal, and then they want to do as well.
And they don't realize that there's filters on those cameras. And
nobody's happy with
and
themselves anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah,
you're right.
We need to go back. We need to go back, way back.
You're right.
Look what the kids are wearing nowadays. That's why when I go to a Catholic mass, to like a Latin mass, right? You should walk in there one time and look how the kids and everybody is dressed. You go like, dude, that is what everybody should be. Nice, boom, beautiful.
Last time I was at Catholic Mass, I got this.
Oh, that's a long time
I'm
ago.
afraid to go back in there, boy.
Well, then you did something bad. You know.
I just went and got my little things with my guy. And ran like hell.
Yeah. But it's unfortunate, you know. It's I wish that everybody would wake up and just feel good. Be happy about yourself.
Or maybe we can put something together and get something going. Really, seriously.
I wish, you know, it has to come. I mean, it can only be, there's a moment that everybody's going to see, okay, this is too crazy. We got to step back now. It's the same with everything now in the whole world is going on. It's too crazy.
Well, like we were talking earlier, I mean, even Caitlyn Jenner came out right all over the TV against, you know, that community.
Yep.
And said, hey, look, this is nuts. I mean,
Yeah.
you're taking it too far.
Yeah, but you know that's on one side.
I respect that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, do it. You know, if you want to do
And I think, like you said, it'll escalate from there. You know,
that's it.
I hope.
You know, I hope it's at age. I think just be certain at a very young age you should watch out. You know, because we all think different. I think you should let a kid grow up a kid, and then once it's 100% sure, do whatever you want to do. But as a parent, I would say, I don't know, I wouldn't do it. I would wait till they're 18 years old. That's me. Because I would never want to, because if it goes wrong and who's going to get the blame? Why didn't you, you know, and then they say, oh, but almost never goes wrong. Well, the numbers are saying different, you know. So it's, listen, everybody can do whatever they want to do. But I'm just saying, wait to an age so they decide themselves. That will be the most, for me, I would.
Let them be adults.
Yeah.
And, you know, and do the best you can as parents and whatever happens from there.
Yep.
2 more questions for you.
Tell me.
What do you think of the UFC today?
I think it's a juggernaut still till this day. I think I love all the fighters. You know, like it's so hard. Like when people say now, what is your favorite? Who's your favorite fighter? Yeah, that's almost impossible to say. Everybody.
I mean there's so many
weight
good
classes.
That's what I mean.
I mean,
and with me, like at the time, I was really good at my feet and really good on the ground. My wrestling sucked, but it didn't matter because they would take me down and I would submit them. You know, so I actually have more submission victories, but people still don't realize, than knockouts.
I did actually see that. Though.
Oh,
I
good.
Saw it on Wikipedia. I saw it on Wikipedia. I did.
But you see, but it's nowadays. So I was exceptional at that time. Now they're all like that, but much better. Now they know all 3 sports, and they know it very well. Everybody has a full gas tank. I was one of the few that had a full gas tank, and that saved me a lot of times. Now everybody's in shape. Would drive me nuts when I was young. Because when I was young, then, you know, it's like being a painter and go paint something with a half a can of paint. You're going to run out of paint, right? It's your job to bring a full can of paint. That's the same as a fighter. Bring a full tank of gas because you need to go to 5 rounds or whatever the fight is. And if you can't, you shouldn't be a fighter. It's stupid. Well, don't have that problem anymore. Everybody is in shape now. You see, so the level is so much higher right now. It's just really cool.
How many rounds was it when you were fighting?
1 round of 30 minutes.
Holy shit.
Yeah. My UFC was 15 minutes and 3 minutes overtime, and my UFC title was 15 minutes and 3 minutes overtime.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. It was different. And with street fighting, by the way, it's good because we were talking about what is good street fighting. Just so you know, Amir Peretz and myself. Amir Peretz, you know, you should look him up on YouTube. He takes a gun away from somebody. This is the guy I met when I just came to the States. And I met him in the club on La Cienega. And he goes, my God, what are you doing here? I say, I live here. Oh, you live here? Yeah. Are you teaching? And he goes, yeah, man, I'm a big fan. He's an ex-SEAL from Israel, and he's doing Krav Maga. But a high-level guy, this guy. Is different than a lot of other people. And he says, can I come and watch the class? I said, sure. So he comes to my class, and after the class, my students, everybody's there, and he has a bag with him. And he says, man, this was insane. And when I come train here, can I show you something? And I go, sure. So he goes to his bag, and he pulls out a plastic knife. And he gives the knife to me. And I say, dude, I'm okay. Don't worry about it. I said, I don't want to, because I know it's going to be stupid again. You know, like all these things. Oh, flip, 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 flip. I don't believe in that stuff. And he looks at me and he goes, okay. So he goes back to his bag and he pulls out a pellet gun. And he loads the pellet gun. And he puts a bullet in and he says, here, I'm going to stand like this. If you see me move, you can shoot me. And now the whole class is like, I go, whoa, dude. He says, yeah, but only if you see me move. Don't shoot me right away because I have no chance. But if you see me move, you're allowed to shoot me. And I did 6 times, it didn't work. It went, whoop, and I got a in the face, and he's got the gun pointed at me.
Wow.
So they put this guy. So I started doing kicking crash test dummies. Bas Rutten kicks crash test dummy. Go on YouTube. Like I broke a spleen. You can find that all for fight science. So I'm doing bar fighting. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And suddenly they come to me. Hey, you know how to take guns away and knives, right? I say, yeah. I say, you want to do that? I say, yeah, I would love to do that. I said, but you shouldn't take me. You should take my buddy because he's way better than I do. Trust me. Take him. You know. So he comes in, and I remember he had to be there at 10 a.m. And at noon, my telephone went. It was the director. And I go, what's this? And I pick up, I say, he's freaking you out, isn't he? And he goes, where did you get that guy? Where did you get the guy? So you see him disarming a gun with a guy with a pellet also. And he stands, and he in slow motion, he redirects the gun. He hits you, boof, and he grabs the gun. And now, poof, now the bullet comes out. He already hit the guy in the face.
Oh, my God.
They hit it in 2/10 of a second. It was faster than the brain could react. They were freaking. You can see it. You can see it on TV.
That fist didn't even hit the face before the bullet was already on the way.
That was it. Yeah, already disarmed, redirect, control the gun, and boom, boom, boom. I mean, and then he has the gun. You've been hit, and he's got the gun. So this guy's the real deal. You know. So we did with COVID started. We did this big instruction: 7 skills to save your life. So the first skill is situational awareness, where to watch out for, little things. If you come out of a room, out of your house, just look around for 2 seconds or 20 seconds. Why would you just look down and walk to the, and we give all these little pointers. Like a woman, you go to, you park your car. Well, think about this. You're going to be back in the dark. Yeah. Is this car parked in a dark spot? Maybe you should park it somewhere else where there's a light. Like all these things, we give all these hints. If you walk into a bar, you already have to know where are the exits. Things like that now seems like a lot, but once you start doing it, it becomes normal. Like we would do it for fun with my kids. I say, okay, where's the exit? She says, oh, you one in the kitchen there and one there. You see, because it becomes a game. It becomes a fun thing. And what is the name of the waiter? And, so you start paying attention to little details, right? Situational awareness. Women are really good with that. Women can do 6 things at the same time. Women, when you bring a little kid in, a baby, and you just can walk, you put him down, they know that's a weapon, that's a weapon, that's a weapon, that's a weapon. They know immediately, right?
I have a 2-year-old.
There you go. So you're right in that right now. But that's what situational awareness.
Yeah.
But you know it with your kid, but you can apply this to everything in life, right? And then you have the skills for knives, and for guns, and for hand-to-hand, and for stamina. So you have 7 skills to break your life. If you go to Krav Maga, Krav Maga, MAGA.com/Bas. Go to there. There's a course we did, and it's with this guy, with Amir. When I picked Amir up for the very first time, he was training at his Krav Maga center. He was my only sparring partner for 80% here because he was the only guy who could hang with me. And it's not like I beat people up. It's like my stamina, I just outwork you. Him, I couldn't. He was a really good sparring partner for me. I picked him up, and he was sparring, and they were sparring with kicks to the balls.
What?
Yeah. And nobody got kicked in the balls. And you know why? Because they don't like to get kicked in the balls. But you see, if once you extend that, you automatically fight different. Yeah. You read the length of the leg, and you stay out of it. It's just doing it. Yes, in the beginning you get kicked a few times, but guess what? That's how you learn, right? And you never like to get kicked again, so you become really good at it. And I go like, wow, this is opening a whole new door. This guy, you got to really check it out. So kravmaga.com/Bas, B-A-S. And then you can see the course. I believe we give it's like a 15-minute clip we give for free, where we talk about situational awareness and all that other stuff. Then you can see what it has. And it's
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up. You'll like it. But it's a good way for people, especially if you want to know how to defend yourself. And people always go, yeah, but a gun defense will never work. And I say a very simple thing. Imagine you never defended yourself against a knife. Oh, no, they say it will never happen. Yeah, but what if it happens? It's always better to know a skill and don't need it than to need a skill and don't have it, right? It's a very simple rule.
Completely agree with you.
So now you come into a room and a guy pulls a gun. There's no escapes. There's no nothing. Maybe he shot somebody and he's not wearing a mask. Well, chances you're going to go extremely high because you can point him out in court right now because otherwise you're going to die. You don't think that it's better to learn if you have even a little bit of skill that already increased your chance of survival way higher?
Because you're more aware.
More aware. That guy, Quentin Jackson on the left, and the guy next to us, he's a badass Navy SEAL 6 team member. Holt McKellen is a great actor from Mindhunter. But this, just check that out. And there, that self-defense where you can click on the thing, people can see. That's Amir there on the left. He's intense, man. He was the Kyokushin champion from Israel. And so what we're teaching is it's real stuff. And we break it down to such a level that you know, okay. And we push you to train, of course. But every training you do, even if you had one class, is always better than have no classes, right? And of course, we don't say one class. We want you to do it twice a week, 3 times a week. You see? So you learn your skill. You learn a skill. And hopefully you never be in a situation.
That's one of my favorite.
Oh, Quentin, he's my man.
He's one of my
man.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite guys of all
Dude,
time.
with the Rona when he
all
slammed it,
time,
remember? Quentin is the man. Yeah, we love Quentin.
He is.
Oh, I had so much fun with this guy when I stole his chicken.
He makes it fun. He makes
Yeah.
it fun.
Yeah.
He makes it fun, you know?
Dude, yeah, and what a skill, you know? I mean, this guy comes in freaking... Yeah, he's an enemy. He's a very funny guy, too, if you hang out with him. Yeah, he's a good friend. He's
Bring him back with you.
I like him. We should. You know, it's like Dr. Belisa, you know, the breathing expert. If people are interested, they go like, "Hey, this breathing is cool. You should get back." And talking about this one more time because I completely forgot something.
Yeah, I want to pull up your website. Pull up his, so we can.
So,
so
but
that way
Dr.
we have something to
Belisa,
relate
go to breathingforwarriors.com.
Sure.
Yeah, because that's a course that we just shot. And that will teach you everything, because once you see it and how we explain it, how your diaphragm works and what actually happens in the body and how you get that chest expansion, it makes complete sense immediately. And then you go, oh, okay. And then we give you, I mean, she has breathing exercise classes that make you high with just breathing. No drugs. You just later, everybody starts tinkling. It's like crazy what she does.
Fuck, you'd be a billionaire.
Look at me there, Bas Rutten. That was for fun.
If you put a commercial that you get high from those
Breathing
things,
exercise.
you get a.
Oh, you see people going,
You
oh my
blow
God,
that
I'm
up, Rob.
tinkling everywhere. The cable punching routine, you see, endurance, cardiovascular fitness, respiratory muscle training, everything we do this. This is combat training, how you have to breathe during a fight. Close by, you have to breathe different than a little bit further away, and in the corner, in the dressing room. All we go over every little single thing that you need to know. Breathing for mixed martial arts, you see there? That's this one here. This that's a big one. That's a big one. That's when how you breathe when you're very close together, when you like a little distance away, further distance
we're
away.
talking about the distances and everything.
And it's all different kind of breathing patterns. But once you control that, it becomes second nature. You start doing it automatically, and then your stamina increase. Look at that. Click on that. Is it? Hopefully, it is a video. No. Okay. Well, I have done my video, but that's where you see what the diaphragm happens. The diaphragm is a thin dome-shaped muscle tendon, right? And it hangs here in the middle of your body. It separates your chest from your abdominal cavity, and it's located here on the bottom of your ribs. And it just hangs like this. And it drops down when you inhale. And when it drops down from that angle, you see it gets wide. And of course it goes from here, it goes boof, wide. And that opens up your rib cage. So that motion, and it massages your intestines, it massages your heart, it does a lot of other things. It's really crazy what it all does, you know. And once you start understanding that, and then we show a video with breathing, like shoulder breathing and the amount of air you get, and then diaphragmatic breathing, you go like, oh, that's it. That guy there on the ground, he's a monster, and you should see him breathe. He's got really great breathing.
I mean, you can see how calm he is. I mean, I know it's a picture, but
Yeah.
wow.
It's crazy. You don't really think about breathing as much as
Yeah, breathingforwarriors.com. That's we just shot it. I mean, it's done this week, literally, and you'll be amazed because that takes everything to a whole new level. Once you increase that, then start working on all the things that you want to do in fighting, because you don't get tired anymore.
And here's your website. You can go to
O2Trainer.com. Yep.
You get how to use it. Everything.
There's
Customer
videos,
reviews,
everything is on there. And then you can also, like I said, you do health 15 at the checkout code for all the listeners, and you get a 15% discount.
Make sure you text me that so I can put that in the description.
That would be great. Yeah. So and so then I pretty much everything. And the punching device. You're gonna have to please look this up for fun. Bodyactionsystem.com, because that thing you can hit as hard as you want. And if you look at it, you go like,
we might
really?
be buying two.
Yeah, I very, like I said, the interesting part that you don't think about this every day breathing. You just don't. It's just it's there. But I'm telling you, like,
makes sense.
Just from seeing kids, myself included, but coaching kids and seeing kids, and I always say like the video games and the change it's seen over the years with more kids that are out of shape.
Yep.
But at least they're there now. At least they're at the sport, at football, doing it, trying to get better. This stuff can just work wonders for a kid who maybe has a breathing problem, and to strengthen that, to get better, to last longer in the sport, to you know, and
Or God forbid they do have a problem.
If there's one muscle you can only train in your entire life, I would train your breathing muscle, since it's the #1 priority in the body.
You sold me.
That's it.
I'm a tough sell.
That's it. Yeah, but now it's the tough do, because I want to see if you can do it 30 days. It's hard. If you work out do you work out every day?
Every day.
Okay, then just do before you work out.
Yeah,
Then you will
I
never
do
miss
20
it.
minutes on the treadmill, 20 minutes in the sauna, 20 minutes speed workout.
Perfect. Now, in the beginning, maybe you should do it after the workout. I don't know, because it might get you, but conditioning-wise, a little tired because you're working your breathing muscles. But I'll guarantee you, in a month, once your breathing muscles are updated, it's the opposite. You can warm up with this and then full go. It's crazy. Oh, and a thing that I want to say before everybody, that has nothing to do with selling. This is something I used to do in fighting, and I didn't know why, because it always would make me feel good. Before the fight, I would do a lot of abs, which everybody thought it was weird to do because it kind of stops everything. But then I would, my body, with his back against my back, we would hook each other's arms, and then he would lean over, and I would stretch my leg, my chest out. And it would always make me feel better. And now, with Dr. Belisa, when she started explaining everything, this is one of the most important things in fighting. You keep your chest muscles flexible. If you do bench pressing before a fight, your muscles are tight, they can't expand. So before a fight, to just sit here and to grab a chair and to do these kind of stretches is really important, because the more flexible your chest is, the more easy for you is to expand.
I wish my coach would have told me that.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know. I didn't know.
I have a couple golden gloves. I never got taught that.
Yeah, but you see, it's simply and like in MMA, you see, he gets coach of the year, coach of the year. You don't spend time on breathing. You're not the coach of the year, not in my book.
I just remember, don't drink much water. Don't drink much water. Spit the fucking water out. Spit the water out. Don't eat pasta.
And then you would, actually, I would say drink as much water as you can, right? You go like...
No, I mean like when I was fighting.
Yeah,
like just a little sip and then spit it out. Like that's all I can remember.
Oh, so that's just to make you... that's another thing.
Cramps.
Yeah, no, but also in Holland, we never had water breaks. I never understood. We came here, okay, water break. And I go, what? Water break in the middle while we're sparring?
Oh,
no,
shit.
dude.
Here in the U.S.,
no.
I don't know how it is. I mean, in the pros, you get, in amateurs, when you're going for golden gloves, every 2.5 minutes you get a water break.
Oh,
30
completely.
seconds.
You push yourself out of fighters. That's what you do.
But it actually makes you tired because you just sat down. Like, that fucking sucks to get back up. I mean, after you took a couple of pops.
But the body action system is a fun little thing also. Check it out, bodyactionsystem.com. It's a punch and kicking device.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'll like it, because you can see how hard I hit it, and you go like, there's no way.
What is it?
Bodyactionsystem.com. BAS. You see what we did there? Body Action System. Hey, that's my name. The UFC has sells them now too. So it's that thing.
Oh, that's cool shit.
And you can hit it as hard as you can. And for fighters, like for instance, my career got ended because of my tendonitis in the arm. My muscles are stronger than my tendons. So of a heavy bag, I would really mess up my arms. And more fighters have that. And if you do for the last 2 weeks, you hit this thing, zero impact, but you get really freaking tired on it. And you get a real target. And this is not like those things that have like all these targets, like here, one. That you're fighting 6 guys. No. Fight one guy. You know, that's why I made the head like that. And the body, you see the body is shaped, the body shots. Mm-hmm. If you hit it in that angle, it's shaped, it's the perfect body shot as well. So it's a real fun device, and it looks thin, but trust me. Oh, click on the video. There you can
You better have these stocked up, buddy.
I hope.
If you want something to be done,
Blow that up, Rob.
you have to
If
do
you
it
can. I don't
yourself.
know if you can.
And it was
Oh, on the bottom. Yeah, there's that little. Yeah, and there's on. Yeah. Look at this guy.
nothing out there like the body action system, and that's why I came up with it, because it feels like a real body that looks like a real sparring partner with real targets. It's like it's designed for you.
And if you're listening to this, you got to watch this. This thing's awesome.
Use focus pads high or bring them down. In, out, whatever. And bada bing, bada boom. There's the body action system. I wish that I had it when I was...
And that's 100% true.
Lever, uppercut.
That's cool.
Right hook to the head. Lever, and a liver shot. Ooh, let's do that again. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, hit him with the lever shot.
Yeah, and don't look at my right arm for the people at home. Technical, that's the bad arm, you know. So this arm cannot do really a nice hook anymore and a nice uppercut anymore.
That thing is all.
Focus on the left. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing.
That is. That is.
Now,
Well, thank you so much. Oh, go ahead,
I
bro.
got one last one.
Yeah, go.
So,
take your time.
We're here.
Yeah, we're here. Wings.
So all your years in the UFC, give me the top 3 fighters from back then. Not now, not the guys now. Top 3 you would say from years back. You know, the Dan Severns, Tank Abbotts, those years. Who would you put up there?
Yeah, well, yeah. In my book, everybody, you know, you can Chuck Liddell also. He's
Chuck
just
Liddell.
got in that motion, like with Tito Ortiz. Once they started getting bigger,
Yep.
and before that, it was guys like Tank Abbott and like Dan Severn, Don Fry, of course, who's an animal.
Yep.
I mean, let's never forget freaking Hoist Crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
we remember he came out and then just destroying people. I just sent him, last year I sent him a picture. I found these old magazines from me in Japan, and I was going through everything and cutting everything out what was me, and then throw the magazines away because I had stacks, and I only cut the stuff out so I can save that. And I sent some pictures, and you saw Hoist, and I know Hoist now only as a really nice, friendly guy. And then when he's raising they're raising his arm, and his look is like, I'm gonna kill you next. You know, like
Yeah.
I go, dude. I sent him the picture. I said, this is you. You remember that? It's like such a violence, you know. And he came there, and it was good. Coleman and then freaking Randleman, Kevin, man, when we fought for the world title, he beat the crap out of my face the first 4 minutes. It was like my nose is broke. I lost the contact. Everything filled up with blood. I was swallowing blood the whole time. I go, oof. You know, that was a hard one. And then, you know, slowly but surely I started getting into the game. And then thankfully I won it.
I don't know how you can mentally. I don't know how you can just get over that.
It's all egos, I think, because you don't want to break in front of everybody. You know, it's like really.
Especially a contact flying out, and then you're gonna go back out there.
Oh, it's crazy,
Oh.
but you know, crazy freaking athlete. It was his birthday. He passed away, unfortunately. We became friends. Went to his wedding, and everything. I'm still good in contact with his wife. It was last week.
Very
It was
nice,
his
yeah.
birthday, so I made him a nice post about. We lost the great Gene LeBell last week. That was a hard one. He was the first guy I met in '96. I came here to teach at the Los Angeles Police Department, and everybody was there, like Benny the Jet and Goka Cevic, and I mean, there was a lot of guys were all teaching. And this crazy guy with red hair was constantly, he was looking at me, and I was teaching leg locks, and he was like, perfect! He was like screaming every time, and I go like, who is this crazy dude, you know? And then a friend of mine came over afterwards. He goes, hey, you need to meet Gene LeBell. I said, who's that? And he pointed, go, oh, so you sit at Gene? You know, because of course I heard of Gene. Okay, thankfully I didn't say, hey, crazy guy, because he would have mauled me. This guy, what an animal, that guy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately he passed away. He was 89. But that guy at 84, he was still doing wheelies on a motorcycle. Yeah,
Right.
that's a
At least he
special-
went out the way he wanted to.
Oh yeah. Good person. But that's the good thing with fighting. The people you meet and the camaraderie is so close with all these fighters. I always say, if I go, it doesn't matter what country I go. You know, if I go just to Brazil, I'll pick up a phone and I say, hey man, can I crash to you tonight? Done. I don't have to get a hotel. Of course I do. But if I didn't have the money for it, they will all let you crash. You know, every country pretty much in the world, because you know now everybody. That's such a crazy thing, because I was 28 when I started. See how late that is. It was in '93 before the UFC started. I heard Ken Shamrock was fighting on the show that I was, and he was talking about this crazy thing that he was going to do a cage, and there's no rules and no referee, and you can do anything you want. And don't you want to do that? I go, no, you know.
And remember, everybody was laughing because everybody was watching WWF and the wrestling. Everybody was like, yeah, right, who's going to watch UFC?
And you know what? He told me a really great story. It's so funny because they were sitting in the back, and they thought at any moment now the promoter would walk in, that it was a work, that they were going to say, okay, you're going to win, you're going to lose. You know, they thought it was going to happen. And then Gerard Godot, the guy from Holland, the Kyokushin guy, came up, knocked down the sumo wrestler, and he kicked him in the face, and the teeth were flying next to the commentators. And everybody said that when that happened, it got really quiet backstage. And they go, it's real, you know.
Let that go on, everything down.
And they told me, said, do you want to fight there? I say, no. And they go, why? I say, well, I have a wife and a kid. You know, you can, if you have a psychopath in there, if I get knocked out, I want to have a referee there who pulls him off. But if that guy is allowed, just hits me 6 more times in the head,
Kill it.
yeah, or brain damage, anything. I say, I'm not going to do that. I say, if there's a referee who steps in, sign me up. but not without a referee. And then thankfully Joe McCarthy, he was instrumental.
Man.
Oh, Joe McCarthy.
And he put his foot down because he said, listen, you want me to stay here? I'm going to have to stop this fight. Because what happened with Tank Abbott, for instance.
Joe McCarthy.
He's a 5th-degree black belt. Right?
Oh, dude, he's an animal.
Yeah.
Tank Abbott got beat the crap out of, and Joe McCarthy was looking at his corner the whole time, and his corner would turn the back to him. And then after the fight, he went over to him, and he says, why didn't you throw in the towel? He said, well, Tank told us that if we threw in the towel, he was going to beat us up. And that's when Big John said, okay, this is it. And he went to the owner, was Hoyler, I believe, Horion Gracie. It was Bob Morowitz,
right?
Yeah, it was Horion Gracie together with Bob Morowitz. And then he said, listen, if you want to keep me here, I'm going to have to be able to step in because otherwise somebody's going to die. You know, this is going to go wrong. And thankfully, they knew that he was instrumental, so they had to keep him. And then, well,
Yeah, he's a monster.
he's a monster, but a good guy too, man. What a nice family, kids, wife, everybody is such a good people.
How much do you think Dana White, do you think he really changed everything for the best?
Well, he did a lot of good.
I mean, money. I mean, not just money, but I mean, overall.
Yeah, I think the UFC is responsible for all the rules in the world. You know, they always talk about Mount Rushmore of UFC, and I always put Dana in, and everybody looks at me weird. I say, dude, he was instrumental. He needs to be in there. Like Royce Gracie, without a freaking doubt, right? But Dana White as well. He made it. He made the sport. You know, so
yeah, he made it a whole entire sport.
Yeah.
That's it. You know,
Like,
you got to give him the props.
Huge money. I mean,
Yeah.
like McGregor. I mean, Jones. All.
Well,
of
that's
them.
like the big debate now. I guess everybody's talking about it because of the Paul brothers, Jake Paul and those guys.
Oh, fuck.
That, you know, he's calling out Dana White because he's saying, you know, pay the
He better be
pay the
careful.
fighters, and he's saying they are getting paid, and he's saying, well, they're not. And there's a whole big discussion. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the fighters are getting paid enough, or do you think
No,
they're taking
you know, as a
advantage
fighter, you can never pay enough. You know, I think they can pay more. They, you know, and I believe it will come. Like you saw with McGregor, once you get a star power, and McGregor just put his foot down, and it gets big. But you know, you have to also understand it's a business for them, right? Everybody wants more money. They go like, hey, if you don't want to fight, I can tell you one thing: if I wouldn't have gone to the UFC, I don't think I would have been maybe in movies or something. Yes, there was a hardcore group that watched me fight in Japan, but the real people know me because I went to the UFC, and that's why I went to the UFC. First of all, the big reason for the UFC, this is the dumbest reason, you're not going to believe it, was the theme song. I wanted to come up with that theme song. Bum, 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 bum. I thought it was so bad. It's like a video. Da, 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 da. Dunga, 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 dun, dun, dun. And from Eindhoven, Holland, we got Bas Rutten. And I got goosebumps now. Look, I got, dude, that was so badass.
You took all the Holland out of you.
I love it. You know,
You would
So-
never know.
And I told him the very first time I fought, because last week somebody asked me, why didn't you come up with an intro song? I said I was not allowed at the UFC. You only could come up with that song because otherwise you were going to have to pay royalties at the time. And I asked the UFC, I said, do me a favor. The three tenors, right? Pavarotti and Luciano and those three guys, they have that song, I like to be in America. Da, 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 da. And it was a 30-second clip of them singing it. I said, because I just came from Holland, can you play a 30-second clip and then come up with the theme song? I think that would kill it for the people, you know. I like to be in America. What a badass song that would be by the tenors, you know. But they said no, unfortunately. But that was a big wish for me to come up with that song.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Dana White's got to be. He's got to
Yeah,
be
I mean,
top.
he-
He created a whole entire sport.
It's like you look at the whole Vince McMahon thing from WWE.
Him too.
He
Him too.
took that to another level. His
Yep.
dad had it, whatever it was, doing whatever. He took it to a whole nother level.
I was
Whole nother level.
super happy when they inducted me in the UFC Hall of Fame because I had 2 fights.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I go like, I thought it would never happen because it was too middle, but then I thought maybe as an like an ambassador for the sport, you know, made that all combine together. And then Dana told me, he says, no, for all your fights. He says, in all of them. He says, not only UFC fights. He says, you were beating UFC guys in Japan. He said, so that was a very nice.
I'm sure he watched a lot of your
That was
shit.
cool. Yeah, no, I always had a really good relationship with him. I never had a problem with him. So everybody's complaining. I go, listen, to me, it's always been great.
Why are they complaining? Because he made a great deal and he's making a ton of money?
But then they want
And he's
more
not
money.
a jerk off?
No, and also, look what he did. And McGregor, you know, they say, yeah, but he makes all the money. But look what he did. My mother knows McGregor. Mm-hmm. No, she don't know anybody.
No, but there's
So
not
there's so
anybody
many
that
people.
doesn't know McGregor. Who does not know McGregor?
But that's what I mean.
UFC,
So he
man.
put all the eyeballs on the UFC, made it even bigger. That has to Ronda Rousey, right? She's got to be in Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah. It's like who would Hulk Hogan be if it wasn't for the WWF? Everyone
Yeah.
knows Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
He would have just been a wrestler in another little, tiny little wrestling league.
And that is great. Like I worked, did pro wrestling in Japan, and I worked with the Steiner brothers and all these guys from
man, Rick and Scott.
This is a funny thing. So I'm sitting by myself in the dressing room, right? And I always, I'm a complete. If I get bored, I need to do something. So I'm sitting in a chair and I go like this. First I'm sitting with Rick Steiner, and I'm doing this. I'm looking at a screen, and he says, "What are you doing?" I say, "Do it." I say, "Look at the screen and do." I say, "You see the whole screen start vibrating." It's really bad. And he looks at me and he goes, "Stop doing drugs, Bas." And he walks away, right? So now I'm sitting by myself in the dressing room, and I'm sitting on the swivel chair, and I'm like this. I'm just in myself, I'm doing this. And suddenly I turn to the door, and he goes, "I told you to stop doing drugs." And he walked away.
His son's in it now, I think. Is Rick's son. I think it's Rick's son's in wrestling now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to tell this story. This is a funny story, okay? So I'm doing my first pro wrestling match in the Tokyo Dome. So what happens, there's 55,000 people. Don Fry's in my corner. And you know how it goes.
What's it like walking out with 55,000?
Oh, it's
people?
crazy. It's freaking crazy.
I mean, can you hear it? Do you block it out?
No,
55,000
they're
people.
really excited, but in Japan, it's once the fight starts, it's completely silent.
But still, just walking out knowing that.
Oh,
55.
everybody! Yeah, no, they were screaming. It's great. It's freaking awesome. So I'm, you go over what you have to do, right? So you go to a different location somewhere. They black everything out. Nobody knows where you're going, and then you rehearse. You rehearse the beginning, you rehearse the middle part, and then you rehearse the end, and then the rest you ad lib, so to say, right? Now, since they use the strong style in Japan, which is real submission techniques. Here, they grab a hand, they're doing this. There, everything is real moves. So going from MMA to pro wrestling in Japan is much easier because it's real moves, and it makes it more fluid. So the fight was gonna start. He was gonna immediately spare me into the corner, and he would give me an elbow in the face, another elbow in the face, another elbow in the face, and then he would do this to the audience. And he would load up, and then I would take an 8 count, right? That was the plan. Now, you go there, and you believe that you start thinking, this guy can really hit me hard if he wants. Maybe he says to his friends before, "Hey, watch this. I'm going to hit this guy really freaking hard." There's nothing he can do, right? So that was already in my head. So he throws me in the corner, and he gives the first elbow perfectly timed. The second one, he gives a little harder. The third one is a direct hit. And my automatic reflex goes in. So I go, boof. I go, BOM! Boof.
Oh, knocked him out.
And I'm looking at Don is in the corner. He goes like, "Oh, shit." And then the referee start walking around him like a circle. And he goes, 1. And then he walks another circle. 2.
He had the longest count on the planet.
At 8, he started.
I wish I would have got one of those counts a few times, right?
Dude, it was hilarious. So then the fight continued. And the second time when I was there, they came to my dressing room. They say, "Please, Mr. Rutten, no real fighting." I said, No. You hit me hard, I hit you hard back. Let's do that, right? Because that's what I did. So if you time your punches, don't worry. I'm really good with time. I kick cigarettes out of your mouth. Don't worry about it. I did pro wrestling. The other people knocked them out, and I will pull the punch or the kick. It looks exactly like I kick you. So don't worry about that. But everybody got on their toes. They got like, but it was so funny because the whole place went like, "Oh crap, something went wrong there. Oops." Yeah, you should have seen Don's face. Funny stuff.
Funny stuff, man.
What a life.
What a life.
Yeah.
And we still got a lot left.
We still got a lot left. It's my tip to people. I always think this, like the crazy partying. Like now, for instance, I came to the hotel. I was like 1:30 at the hotel. I saw the gym was there, and I said, "Oh, I couldn't do a workout." And then I thought, wow, I never did that in my life. I will go straight to the bar, I will get drink, I will go crazy and be, and I go, this is so much more productive. Why didn't I start with this 15 years ago? Why would I have been that knucklehead, that always, so party, do everything you want, get out of your system, but moderation, dude. You don't have to be every day, freaking day, right? And well, now you start going back, and my wife, I told her, I said, I make it up for the rest of your life because I've been a crazy guy. But since 2006, I've been really good. Yeah. So, but that's controlling devices. That's the whole thing. The saying no at the right moment, which is a hard thing.
Another 4 years, you're going to have 20 years on that one.
Oh,
you better get a good present for that.
Yeah. And the rest of my life, I'm going to try this. I'm so happy waking up in the morning, doing everything that I do. Make a productive life. It's fun. That's the thing I would tell myself if I would go back in time and I could talk to my 20-year-old. I say party, but not too crazy, dude. Just tone down a little bit.
What's your goal for the next 5 to 10 years? Anything on the burner that you're
I want make this as big as I can. I hope that everybody sees it. I'm really good. The CrossFit people, I think it's a perfect match because they care about results. They don't care about anything else. This is the thing you throw it in your gym bag. It can break. It can ding. You don't have the stupid apps and all the. Focus for 4 or 5 minutes. Let it be your meditation for 5 minutes a day. What about that? Instead of tracking everything, you're going to feel good. Like, I give you an example. I started with screen number 4 in 2018 in May. And I post daily videos since 2018. I might have missed 60 over 4.5 years. So that's when I build a habit, it's a habit. And those 60 times, it's when I'm traveling.
Sure.
I can do it. And I did my 30 repetitions in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. 3 minutes and 45 seconds. 2 years later, I look at my wife, now I'm much stronger, and I look at her, okay, you know what? I'm going to try that old setting again. See how fast I can do it now. 55 seconds. So I went from 3 minutes 45 to 55 seconds. So now you can see how much stronger, the 75% increase. It's bizarre. You see, so that I like. But once you're at this level, like I'm at level 1.5 now, and I'm on there for at least a year now. So now it doesn't go down. I do also a little bit more repetitions, not 30. I do 5 minutes, which most of the time, like 36, 38 repetitions just to do it 5 minutes straight. But that's how you see you improve. Every time you do, you go suddenly you go below the 3 minutes, you go to the next cap. And then you go again 4.5 minutes.
You scored us. You scored us for this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll send one for you too.
I appreciate that.
Then expect.
Well, you'll be back.
I'll be back.
Yeah,
Of course I'll be back.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Karate
Bring
Combat.
one back in a fucking month.
Yeah.
I'll do. Listen, I would love to. Because the end of this month, the 28th, I'm going to be here. The 27th. So Karate Combat. Please check this out, guys. This is high level. Karate guys going to title fight. Raymond Daniels. I don't know if you know him.
I don't know.
Oh, dude.
You know us?
Oh, yeah. Pull him up. You'll see things if you've never seen before. This guy, his accuracy, what he does, he will make a spin, back kick, and a double spin, and he lands, boom, knocks you out with a punch. You go like, what the heck is the guy's now? I think he's 42, and he just signed, and he's fighting on this show. You want to see this guy. I'm so excited for this fight. But the main event
I'll
also.
be texting you about it. I'll be texting
Butcher.
you about it. Don't worry about it.
Dude, you love the show. Karate.com. Make sure you text me. I'll get you tickets, good tickets, so you don't sit very close. It's in the pit, 45-degree angle walls that the fighters can use. So now you already, the showtime kicks, you see them, people running it up, and then boom, they have one guy, does takedowns in karate. You can take him down, not grappling, but you can rain down ground and pound for 5 seconds. We already at knockouts now. So in the middle of the fight, whoop, take him down, bam, bam, bam. I mean, it's a nice sport, and you push him in the corner, and he just runs out of the corner because it's the angle.
Runs out of the corner,
Dude, it's badass. Go to karate.com. You'll see it. The background is really cool. It's like we're in a different place. It's like in the background is Tokyo. You go like, are we in the middle of Tokyo?
Yeah.
They did some cool stuff. That's in Orlando at the Universal Studios.
Go to that O2Trainer.com.
O2Trainer.com and breathingforwarriors.com.
Breathingforwarriors.com.
That is the big breathing course. I would really suggest if you really want to bring breathing to the next level, we explain everything. There's nothing out there like this. So like Joey Diaz, why he put me in contact with Belisa, Dr. Belisa, was because he could never complete his jiu-jitsu classes. And he says, dude, within a month, I all class.
Once. And he does breathe heavy.
Yeah.
He breathes heavy.
But now,
he smokes like a motherfucker. So.
Dude, I was on a show. So I come in, and he's smoking a bong. And then the stars, the THC stars, the 250 milligrams. He ate 8.
Oh, wow.
8. If I take one, I'm not going to come out of bed for 3 days. Dude, I can do 50 milligram. He does 2,000.
He's funny. He's so funny. He's
such a good guy.
Nice.
Dude,
I've never heard anything bad about him.
He calls me, what do you say? Hey man, Jen, want to say I love you. Bye. Boom. Or he goes, I love you. Stay black. Boom. And hangs up. He's the funniest guy. And hangs up.
Yeah.
He just calls me to say he loves me and then, hangs
Just
up.
a joker.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
I have to throw it out there. I just while we're on air here, I text my buddy because he's a huge UFC fan, huge that. So I said, you'll never guess who's in studio today. And I told him who's in studio. He goes, he's the man. I love his YouTube. He used to train Kimbo. That's what
Hey, yeah.
So shout out John Nat.
Nice. Very good. Yeah, Kimbo was a good guy, man. His group that he had around him, his entourage, it's laugh all day long. It's one big laugh fest. Everybody's
right?
happy.
All
Fun. What a good guys.
He was a thick man. He was a big dude, right?
Big dude. He picked up really fast. Unfortunately, he started getting injuries, because getting a big knee injury, but the fighting he did, and then later on we found out with only 35% of his heart, and he didn't want to tell anybody because he didn't want to stop fighting. Dude, he was doing what he was doing with 35%. That's insane. What an animal.
Am I not right? To even do that at 50% is crazy.
That's what I mean. It's bizarre, man. It's some people are just born for that, and that was he. He was just a born street fighter. He would have done bare knuckle really well.
Oh my God! Yes,
can you imagine?
I don't know. You'd have to. I don't know. It'd be tight. Do I want him bare knuckle or Tyson?
No, bare knuckle.
I'm just moving out of the country.
Bare knuckle should never be. Tyson kills somebody. He's gonna kill somebody. It's like. Normally with age, like your speed goes, but you keep your power. Well, Tyson has both.
It's freak of nature, man.
Keep telling him. Bobby Ches. You know Bobby Ches?
Bobby Ches, yeah.
He was in the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Bobby Ches is saying Tyson is fighting the Disney boy. The Logan one.
Yeah,
I'll kill him if he gets a hold of him.
Yeah, and by the way, coming back with the Logans, what you said there, Logans, what they already have an audience. It's a bizarre big audience, right? So of course they make a lot of money.
He's smart. Yeah, they're smart. They're
smart.
Great marketers.
So yeah, and I have utmost respect for both these guys. Did you see Logan Paul doing pro wrestling?
Yeah. I did that.
Dude,
yeah,
what a freaking athlete, right? I mean, it's insane.
People make fun of it all the time. It's
no.
It's just, you cannot do some of this shit those guys do.
No, they're athletes,
and they get hurt,
Mike
man.
Tyson.
And Jake Paul with the boxing, can say whatever you want. But he's taking it serious.
He is.
And the message he gave after the fight when he knocked out Woodley, that he said, you know what, this boxing put me back in my thing because I realized I was a bully, and now I see everything has to come with hard work. It really give me a different perspective. I thought it was such a great message what he was doing. I love these guys. I go like, shit, they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Because they attack it like it's a real job. It's not like a wishy-washy thing,
Yeah,
and they go after big fight. If he fights Tyson,
that'll be
he's got big cojones, dude.
Yeah, that'll be
I would stay far away, but even in my prime,
that'll make a lot of money. That'll make a lot of money, though. That'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, but money. But he better have a side talk with Tyson, like one punch, and just fall over.
Dude, because that literally can kill his career, everything.
I mean, if
that's how scary.
If you can punch, I mean, you know better than anybody, but if you can punch at 85 pounds after 8 rounds of sparring with Mike Tyson, like after Tyson, and he don't spar like little punks.
No, I was there.
If he's there and he punches that thing fully, they didn't take the tape off, nothing. 85 pounds.
Yeah.
That's 85 pounds coming at your head, at your ribs.
Yeah, no,
after
but
8 rounds of fucking sparring.
Yeah, he's just an animal. It's just that's why I said my whole fighting style is based on that. I have an open stance, and everybody goes always.
Well, no wonder you're so damn good.
But they say you just your white target here, and I go, yeah. But so is Tyson. Everybody, Chuck Liddell fought like that. Robert X fought like that.
Yeah, Chuck Liddell did too.
All these guys.
Yeah.
Did they ever go down to the body? No. But you say it's such an easy target. You know what happens? It's the same as with the kick to the balls, what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's aware. Your defense, I block him with my elbows. That's how I block body shots. But what now? If I stand like this in one line, if I blade, in kickboxing especially, how can I block low kicks? How can I make a hard left kick? How make a hard left punch? Left hook, I'm going to have to set it up or load up, which you don't want to do because you're going to hit. But if you stand like this, that's my left hook. It's a straight punch, not a jab anymore, because now I can use my upper body, push off on the back foot. That's all. That's a straight punch. I hit the crash test dummy like that. This was 93% compared to this 100%. 7% difference only in this stance. They were like, how is that possible? I go, because of the stance. That's why Tyson hits equally left and right. You see, I just look at things and say, that's the best for boxing. Let's see if I can apply this to Thai boxing. And if it works.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
That's it. Yeah. Just look at the good guys, see what they do, and then build it to yourself a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I was asking about Rogan. Like, I just look at the best, and I just build it to myself a little bit.
Yeah.
So
No, but that's
I
very
think
smart.
he's great. I like Rogan.
Yeah, no, and everybody, they
Just
come
gave
out
it a
of the
little
gang.
twist, but I'm not like,
Yeah.
trying to like, whatever.
Yeah, like everybody's different, It's like, and we don't need a second Rogan because we have Rogan is
We
good.
have, Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we need different people. That's the great thing about being different. Nobody can be like him. I wish I had a brain like that.
Me too.
So, and he's been doing it for a long time. People don't realize
Yeah,
that.
TV, all that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And his stand-up is really good as well. Yeah, he's an amazing guy. Amazing person.
All right. I'll see you soon.
All right, my friend.
Thank you so
and the
much
next
for your
time I
time.
see you, I see
awesome.
your course like this.
Oh, you will. All right, buddy.
Godspeed, brother. Thank